the check, house to house, stand with homies. 5 kids, baby daddy left alone. Blue card, food stamps, eat bologna. Her time to shine and to get back on her shit. She found out Section 8 had open list. Told her partner, get my shit, I'm out this bitch. She got a letter in the mail, that bitch was geek. Didn't take that long, only took about a week. Went to the briefing and it took about 2 hours. Gave you a list and pack and told you look for houses. Found a house, tenant portion, $40. Now bitch is mad cause you low income and poppin'. Now that you got the A, you a trending topic. You got a job, that's what's up, you on your shit. Now Section 8 about to go increase your rent. But you still ain't got paid much as that little bitch. You got the A, you know what's up, oh bitch, you lit. But you still ain't got paid much as that little bitch. You got the A, you know what's up, oh bitch, you lit. These bitches mad cause you got your Section 8. Bitch, don't be mad, you gotta pay that market rate. Tony Tiger on her shit, she feeling great. She put her name up on that list, she got away. Boom, bow. These bitches mad cause you got that Section 8. Bitch, don't be mad, you gotta pay that market rate. Tony Tiger on her shit, she feeling great. She put her name up on that list, she got away. Boom, bow.
Minister Jap, I'm talking to you, nigga. Yeah, I got a kid. I got 2 daughters and a son. Yeah, man.
Black women are bad mothers.
And that's why you having a baby by the motherfuckers you had a baby with is your fault. That's why you being a single mother is your fucking fault. That's why being a baby daddy ass nigga is your fault.
Live from the church.
Church check in.
It's Minister Jap.
Black women, they're some of the most worst bitches on with money, but yet they're still taking trips and they look fly doing it. They are the flyest broken bitches you're gonna ever deal with.
On Minister Jap TV.
Church check in, man. Church check in. Church, check in. Talk to me! Fucking clown! You fucking Biden sexuals. You're Biden sexual. Listen, man, we got a powerful discussion to have today, man. Every day ain't gotta be about these hoes. We gotta get y'all niggas' minds free. You know? You're voting like your uncle and your auntie. Today's topic, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate everybody, man, kicking in with the who just hit us with the Cash App. Oh shit, motherfuckers is kicking in. We already got $50 on the motherfucking super chat. Salute to Aaron. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Aaron. Salute to the Dark Knight. Today's topic of discussion is the results of victim voting. And I wanted to bring on some people that I talk about, I talk to behind the scenes about politics and the climate of how you niggas be thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of you niggas not gonna really understand politics till you actually start paying some fucking taxes and you really start, you know, owning some shit. And you start really looking at your community from a different standpoint. When you start getting older and you become that get your ass off my grass ass niggas. I'ma get your ass off my grass. You know what I'm saying? I'm a homeowner. Ownership is gonna make you a little bit more responsible. And I preach that to a lot of you brothers. A lot of you niggas listen to these older cats tell you that you gotta have a child to become mature. Home ownership is gonna make you more mature, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you're gonna start paying attention to tax budgets. You're gonna start paying attention to who the fuck we voting in and why. And it's gonna wake you the fuck up if you got the right mindset. A lot of you niggas, you do this shit with your girl, and you know, you don't really bear the burden of really having to hold some shit down by yourself. So you're not really paying attention because it's not that tough of a load when you actually have a partner. But when you really are a contributor to society, you're gonna start looking at society. So today's topic, I wanted to talk about the results of victim voting. Most Black people are pretty much, they feel that they're victims, and whenever they can't do something, they make themselves a victim, and they use racism as an excuse. I wanted to bring two people on that I feel that have free thinking minds. Brother, I had a real deep, in-depth conversation with at the Manosphere Conference. Salute to Theo for putting together a class act event. And I also wanted to bring on my auntie, Dana with the data. You know what I'm saying? And she is definitely not for the bullshit and is highly conservative. And we want to get out of the scope of just being, whether it's Democratic or Republican. We want to start talking about conservative values, and values should align with where you put your vote. And a lot of people, stop listening to these hoteps telling you that your vote doesn't count. If your vote didn't count, these motherfuckers would not spend millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to get it. Your vote fucking counts. So we want to definitely salute to the free thinkers out here. So I want to bring on my brother, Lil Big Nate, up and coming YouTube commentator. He comes with that heat. The brother was pretty much the host of the Black Manosphere meetup. Go ahead, introduce yourself to the people, bro. Yo, you're muted. You're muted.
My apologies, Jap.
Okay.
Hey man, it's an honor to be on the show.
Yeah.
I'm the creator and coordinator of the Manosphere meetup, along with Theodore Wolf, along with the executive council. We put on the first and truly groundbreaking event. We had almost 100 men come out, and it just goes to show you very small channels can do very big things.
Yeah, and I gotta thank you and Theo for sending out the invite. You guys took care of me and my management. Everything was top notch. No hiccups. It was definitely put together well. Unfortunately, you know, brothers tearing brothers down. We're looking at the idiocracy. They didn't even let the real footage come out. But I assume the next event we'll make sure that people just not going to leak out footage and not give it the right representation that it has, because you know, there was a real camera crew. It was a lot of things going on. And when the real footage comes out, a lot of people going to see a lot of things and be enlightened to a lot of things. And it was actually not what people thought it was. They thought it was going to be a Black woman bash fest. It really was an upliftment of the minds. It was brothers sharpening brothers. I think I was probably the comic relief, and just I kind of brought a different energy, but a lot of brothers had a lot of serious things that they were bringing across, from real estate to IT, just sharpening your image, and I spoke about discipline and us being on code. And you see how quickly when we released stuff, how quickly the brothers that got off code and couldn't congratulate what was going on, that was great. And now I'm actually getting calls from a lot of YouTubers behind the scenes, like, when is the next one? So I'll brief you on that. I actually talked to a heavy hitter maybe about an hour ago, and he's like, yo, when is the next one? Because he want to be there.
Excellent.
So we definitely gonna put some things in perspective. But we did have a real powerful discussion in the lobby of the Westin, man. And that's why I was like, you know what? I gotta bring brother Lil Big Nate on so we can really get into this, because the free thinking, straight Black man is the enemy of the world. You know what I'm saying? Now I also gotta bring on my auntie. She got on her glasses today.
I always have my glasses on.
We got Dana with the data.
See my shirt.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Me and Dana been good friends for years now. Dana's got a great channel she's got going right now. She does a show with Judge Joe Brown, and they fucking cook. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully she'll bring Judge Joe Brown on here. I got to tone it down a little bit. You know, I'm probably scared of Judge. I get belligerent. But tell them what you got going on for yourself, Dana.
Yeah, no. So tonight, you can hear me clear, right? So tonight, we're doing our Christmas show, me and the judge, Man Up on the Real Dana on YouTube. So go and subscribe. And I'm also starting to do like my own 1 hour weekday show, Dana with the Data, to where I'm just basically talking about stats and data of everything that's going on in America and in the world. And yesterday I just did a show on Black men, talking about how Black men need a new deal for Black men, and just the statistics about the plight of Black men here in America. So a lot of politics, a lot of current events, and yeah, so check it out.
And I got to salute to Star for connecting us, because I mean, it's like great minds think alike. And one thing about Dana that I can't say about any other woman that I ever crossed in the sphere, that she actually has a real logical way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, she even challenges me on my bullshit behind the scenes, though. We ain't talking about that. But she is a very logical person, and this is her field right here. Like, and I'm like, you know what, Big Nate, we had a powerful discussion about politics and Black men voting Democrat, and Black people voting Democrat solely out of tradition. And I was like, you know what, let me compose a show where I can get free thinkers to really bring some logic into this big mistake that we have been making for decades and we have never benefited off of. And right now we're suffering, and we got old niggas making excuses. He ain't even been in there enough time yet. You gotta give him some time so he can do something. Fam, the first week he reversed everything and destroyed order. He made chaos. So I'm gonna start with you, Big Nate. How do you feel about Black men and Black people, especially Black men? Because I think we're supposed to be the most conservatives, period. Because being conservative it exudes your masculinity. A lot of the liberal men compromise masculinity to appease the world, or to get along, to go along and get along. So how do you feel about this terrible mistake that we have made as a people for Biden?
60 years of mistakes, absolutely. First, I want to say thank you for letting me on. Salute to Miss Dana. A couple of things. I had a conversation with two YouTube content creators. One was Brother Xavier from TPOT. One was Ramil Amir from his channel. I asked them the same exact question, right? This was maybe about a year and a half ago, before my channel started. And I said to them, I said, how many Black Republican men or conservative men do you know? They both said, I know a few. I said, okay. I said, how many broke, unemployed, underemployed, out of doors, Black Republican or conservative men you know? Both of them, at different times on different channels, bursted out laughing. They both said, man, I don't know any guys like that are Republican. Every Republican guy I know got something popping. Every conservative Black man I know got something popping. Owns his house, owns businesses. His children are stellar examples of what they're supposed to grow up to be. Then I asked them both this. I said, do you know any liberal Democrat Black men? They said, yeah, that's most of the guys I know. I said, how many unemployed, broke, underemployed, out of doors, Democrat Black men do you know? They both again started to laugh. They said, not every guy I know that is a Democrat is like that, but every bummy nigga I know is a Democrat. Every nigga that asks me for money is a Democrat.
I think that's Black folks being comfortable with slavery. It's like you, if you ever heard about like Harriet Tubman, they say she could have freed more slaves if they only knew they were slaves. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, I think that they don't know anything different, and white folks give them comfortability. The white system, the system of, employment, handouts,
Tendency.
welfare, anything like that is the comfort zone. So they don't want to actually get out here and be free, because if you go out here and you be free, then you got responsibility.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So there's no safety net that you can fall back on. It's on you. And I don't think black folks truly want to really be independent. I'm just looking at right now that I told you guys, I went to and I told you, Dana, I went to an actual Biden celebration, a Biden party. Like, it was nothing but black folks. We did it. We got Trump out. Now look at the gas prices. These motherfuckers are silent. They ain't saying shit. They are comfortable niggas. And all of them was good, well-paid Negroes with good jobs. You know what I'm saying? Comfortable, on their way to retirement. Now the young up-and-coming, see, these are the pension Negroes. We don't have that, no. We have a 401k at best generation. If they don't take that away. You know what I'm saying? So we in the generation of hustlers. There is no hustle in the old niggas, the Roland Martins. They don't have any hustle. They have no real drive. All they want is white folks to love them, accept them, and fix them. And that's not their job.
Can I say something real quick, Jack? I want either you or Dana to name one race of men on earth outside of black men in America that worry about whether or not another group of people like them or not. Name another group of men anywhere on earth that act like that.
I can't.
I haven't been able to think of any either.
What do you mean, act like what?
Black men in America worry about who likes them. No other man on earth worries about that. None. They go out, they forge their path and let the chips fall where they may. We preoccupy ourselves with who likes us and who doesn't. No other man on earth does this, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, I think it's actually pathetic too.
Thank you.
In our community, we want to have white acceptance, white love, and we want them to actually fix us. And we got the ability to behave. When I look at shit like turkey giveaways, you're in America.
Exactly.
The hood, if you can't buy a $25 turkey in America, fam, like, dog, we're not in Nigeria where they gotta drop a box of rice in the you know what I'm saying, in the tribe, and then we just bust the rice down. Like, dog, we're in America.
Let me push back a little bit on that, because when we're talking about, when we say, and I would say black people in general, yes, we want to be liked or accepted, but so do the immigrants, and so do other groups that are here. The difference is they want to be liked. That's why a lot of them come here and they check off white on the box, because they are allowed to do that. And they assimilate. Assimilating to a culture is part of wanting to be accepted. But the difference between them, non-white, and Black Americans, ADOS, is that they work together as a collective, and they participate in the science of politics and economics, because they know that is what gets them what they want in this country. So they assimilate to be accepted, but they also know how the system is worked so that they could work within the system to get benefits for themselves.
But they come to this country with an intact culture and family, which is the basis for any group of people moving forward in this country. And Black people largely have zero respect for traditional family. It's unfortunate, but because not that we don't have respect for it. Our plight here in America is different from an immigrant coming here. So our experience is different. So yeah, they may come from a country to where it's highly a dictatorship, or their economic system is horrible. But yes, they do have a strong family tradition. However, our plight and our history here in America as Black Americans is slightly different, which part of it is more mental. It was a lot of mental damage that is done, and we're seeing it now as far as when it comes to legislation,
us not even participating in politics, not even on a local level?
I think it's strategy. Before they even get over here, they got a strategy. They know about that little block in Detroit that needs a liquor store or a supermarket, and they come over here and they become merchants and not employees. We have consistently been trying to get name tags. Like what I'm saying is this: they can come over here, don't even know the language, but they know the language of money.
Right.
When they're in their country, they could be selling dates, apples, or whatever at a fruit stand. They know, look, I sell, you buy. I don't work for you, I work for me. They come over here with that mentality
It's called the immigrant
unity.
hustle.
They got a unity that we don't have. You know what I'm saying? But I think that when you said like they try to acclimate themselves with and check off white, I think that they're faking. Because they only come here for the opportunity because they don't have the opportunity there. But we are not utilizing the opportunity. We're wanting white folks to fix us.
I've heard it called the hug. We want white folks hugged. We want their acceptance. This is ridiculous. No other group of men on the planet. And look, people all over the world have been through all sorts of traumas, trials, and tribulations. We got to stop focusing on what we've been through because we're not going through it today. We're just not.
No, we're not going through it today.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people need to understand policies that were put into place then still exist today. Policies that was put into place then is a result of why we have no generational wealth. Now, people fought, died, sacrificed a lot, let's say from Judge Joe Brown generation and older, for us to have all the freedom and the information at our fingertips that we are not utilizing today. Really, now is the time for Black America to really start. We have to either start now building generational wealth because we're already behind in order to catch up 50 years down the line. So we're not building generational wealth for us today in the present. I'm building generational wealth for not my children, but my grandchildren. And that's how we need to start thinking. But we think on an individual level and not a collective level. And that is the difference between us and immigrants.
We're not doing business. Immigrants actually do business. Gas stations get handed down to kids. Then the kids hand it down. We send our kids to college to get a name tag to make a white person's business even better. And we clap that because we want to be included. We're not inventing anything right now. We're not building anything right now. Mm-hmm. That is the problem. The person with the taco stand is way more valuable than the double master's degree woman right now working at the post office or whatever she's doing because you can't hand your job down to your kids or your degree. Our strategy is off. Our strategy is to be included, to be accepted, and to be loved by a people who don't give a shit about us, who will use all of our talents to gain and to elevate them. Like, if you look at the Trump family, they're going to hand that's going to be a legacy. They're going to work for the business. When you send your kids to college, and if you own, it's like, okay, for instance, my uncle, he owned Moore Anoints in Chicago, which is was a chain of grocery stores they done, right? His kids, nobody took on the business. Sent the kids to school. They're working for somebody else's business. So you can send your kids to school, and then where's the legacy? They're not taking that information and building up the family business because some of them don't want to be that. Mm-hmm. But when you look at the Mexican community, you have no choice. You're going to run the family restaurant. I don't care what you do. When you come back from school, you're in here flipping tortillas, and this is what we do. We got a muffler shop. You're going to do mufflers. I know. No, one of my kids are going to have to take over this business. We're not equipping our kids with no game. We're not handing them down game. Like, the problem with Black folks is as soon as we get some education and some money, we move away from the Black community and go try to acclimate ourselves with white folks.
Can I chime in real quick? Just to address something Dana said, generational policies, racism. The reason why white people are ahead of us financially for two reasons. life insurance, home ownership. That is the vast majority of white wealth in America, what it's tied up in, why they have an average net worth of almost $175,000, and we have barely $5K. It has to do with home ownership and life insurance. There are no racist policies keeping us from owning our homes today or signing up for term or whole life insurance.
You said today.
Go ahead.
You said today. And I was referencing policies then. So when you're right, when you're talking about, it's probably a couple other elements, which is why white people have generational wealth, but real estate is one of the main factors. Now, were there policies before, and my parents and my grandparents and great grandparents to where policy to prohibit them for owning real estate? Yes. So again, today, and I agree, today is today that we have to start building generational wealth. We are not going to see that generational wealth. My grandchildren will see it.
Is it fair to say right now that today's black person is fighting a fight that's not fighting them back because we're really not experiencing the racism that our forefathers and grandfathers and grandmothers actually had to experience?
We're fighting ourselves, and we're thinking that we're fighting that the system, and no, we're actually fighting ourselves because we're not opening up our eyes to realize no one isn't holding you back anymore. But you don't know how to get it. You don't know how to create generational wealth. If you know that it's a big gap between generational wealth between white and black, I'm not going to even throw the Asians because the Asians surpassed even white people here in America. So if you know that, so then how do you as a collective start to accumulate wealth? I think don't know how to do it.
I think the first problem, Miss Dana, is you're speaking of us as a collective. We are individuals, and we should operate as that. There's no way little Big Nate from the town I live in South Carolina is going to have much of an effect on what 20 other million black men decide to do outside of the influence I can have on my YouTube channel. You have a supercomputer in your pocket. There's no information that is denied to you. You have to take the initiative to want something better for yourself. I can't want it for you. I can't drag people kicking and screaming towards success. That's right. The problem with looking at us as a collective.
Well, no, individually you have to want it, but collectively, in order to gain that power, because it's all about power, it has to be collective. But you, me, individually, like me and you, let's say we're on the same page, we want something better, and then we link up. You just had the manosphere, the men that attended that manosphere,
like-minded men.
Exactly. So collectively, you have a collective of like-minded. Everyone is not going to make it. So everybody
Absolutely.
So the fact is that like-minded people, you need to link up with like-minded people because you may know something that I don't know and you're teaching me, and vice versa. But if you just have no desire, if you want to put comments, oh, what do you want to hand down a YouTube channel? Like a lot of black people are just pessimists. They're always picking something because they don't have something.
Black people only want to win an argument and they don't want to actually win in life.
Right.
I always said, I'm like, you just want to fucking win an argument. I'll stop talking. You know what I'm saying? But I wanna say to what Dana was saying and what you were saying about, because what I gathered from that was influence. And the fact that we got people with platforms that are still influencing us to be slaves, like LeBron James, Black Lives Matter. This motherfucker ain't never even experienced no shit. He never been in the trenches and had the police really put up a fucking hit you with the pole or, poke you in your chest. Like, you ain't been through nothing really. You ain't never been. I've been on Madison and Pulaski and the police said, what the fuck am I doing over here? Stripped down and searched my nuts. I've really been through that. You know what I'm saying? Now, my whole thing is this. We don't have new leaders. If you really look at it, we got the same leaders our parents had because they ain't died off yet. And we haven't even, and those leaders have been the gatekeepers and they even brought nobody else under their wing to say, hey, take, you know what I'm saying? Take over when I'm gone. We still got Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. We still got these same old niggas still fighting this good fight that's not fighting them back, that won, that We've won already. We got civil rights. Done. Now you're handing it off to the gays. You know, it's getting embarrassing to still be fighting a fight that no one's thinking about. There are no new 20-year-old racists. I haven't, like, there's not no 18-year-olds right now sitting around here like, I hate black. I mean, maybe you have somebody who their parents, you know, some.
If anything,
they say that? Like, who cares?
If anything, they hate white people.
A new wave of 22-year-old fresh out of college, listening to Kanye West, listening to Lil Baby and all that KKK members. Bro, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's over with. And a lot of them are outing their parents at this point. Their best friends are black. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we're still in the civil rights mindset, and that's why we're voting. And I want to ask you, Dana, voting. I know you talk about this a lot where you were at in Jersey. You know, you really get involved with your aldermen and your city council people and all that. Today's topic, victim voting. The tradition of Democrat voting. How do you feel and what effects do you think that had on black folks?
Let me do a little plug. So I want to suggest people to go get this book. It's called Coming Home, How Black Americans Will Re-elect Trump. Technically, he did win, but that's a whole nother show.
Go ahead, Dana.
Vernon Robinson III. So you can get this book on Amazon. So we started voting Democrat under FDR, going back to the 1930s. That's when black people shifted to the Democratic Party and have not go back since. So your question was, how do I feel about victim voting?
Yeah, because it's like, okay, black folks always, for the most part, they walk in with racism and victimhood. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much victim voting. And these people are supposed to save us. And we've never been saved since we voted for them. So, I mean, how do you feel about the effects, or, you know, how you feel that just consistently, traditionally voting for them, and they never really have to even come in our neighborhood much. They come at the last second just to say, ta-da, and then, you know, because they know they got our vote. How do you feel like that's effective?
I mean, because they make you what the media and social media has done, you know, which is controlled probably by 3 people. They put all these images out there to trigger specifically black people when it comes to race. You know, I was part of this committee, and we was throw these big conferences. And when that committee was over, this was the upcoming presidential election. And I'm thinking we're going to have that reparations conversation, right? To get a campaign going for reparations. And that was before Yvette, the ADOS, got popular. And he said, the person in that room, the head person in charge, said, okay, our main focus, black people, our main focus is to get Trump out of office, make sure he's not reelected. And I was like, oh, really? And from then on, throughout this nation, when it came to black issues, race, they used that to put in our brains, oh, he's a racist. And then George Floyd happened, and all the other stuff happened, and then the Black Lives Matter stuff happened. They play on us, and we allow people to play on our emotions on a historical point, to where it's like a trigger, and we actually believe that we are victims, you know, of this big bad racist president. And then when it's time to vote, you think you're doing the right thing and you're voting Democrat, because, by the way, every black community, that is a heavy Democratic DNC district. So it's not, you don't really have a choice but to vote Democrat, because there is certain districts that each party is just dominant. Mm-hmm. And our black communities is Democratic dominant. So the DNC have that on lock. However, but they just sit and they just check across the row in the box. They don't know the candidate. They don't know the candidate's agenda. They don't go to the candidate's website. They don't even donate. It could be the same candidates. They just vote, and they think that they're voting Democrat, and it's in their best interest, because they put this fear factor of racism on television, and we believe it.
I remember growing up as a kid, when I first turned 18 and got my voter's registration card, I remember my parents, I didn't know nothing about politics. This is why I don't think no 18-year-old should ever be voting. Even though they pay taxes, I think you should actually have to take a class and get a license to vote, like you get a license to drive. And in Chicago, we have to get a license to conceal and carry firearms. And I had to take a class for that, 8 hours for 2 days, and pass a test to get my conceal and carry license. Voting, if they're going to take it serious, they need to make it serious. And I really think that they should make you have to get a license so you can actually know something, like maybe the Constitution. We got foreigners and we got people here who don't even know the language. Who, if you ask them, what's the Pledge of Allegiance? Who do you pledge your allegiance to? You know what I'm saying? They're still voting. But to go back to what when I got my first voter's registration card, my parents and grandmama and them told me, go up to the it was a grammar school, and I was like, who do I vote for? I don't know these, but just vote Democrat.
Yeah, but that's how
down the line. I just check, punch, Democrat.
And that's how people vote. They vote how they were brought up. So usually, if your parents were Republican, your children are going to grow up and grow Republican, and vice versa, Democrat. But honestly, and I guess we're probably getting to this throughout the show, voting doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter if you vote or not.
I don't know about that.
Doesn't.
How you feel about that though, Big Nate? Little Big Nate. How do you feel about the effects of Black folks continuously being zombified Democrats?
Voting Democrat is our default position. You notice who you attributed that story to, right, Jap? Wasn't it your mother or your grandmother?
My mother, my daddy, and my grandmother. 2
out of 3 of those are women. Black men follow Black women into the polling booth. Black men are under the tutelage of Black women when it comes to voting. It's a fucking nightmare. That's what it's been. Okay. And now we have Black women in complete control over the Black community, in control over our finances, our political standing, in control over just about everything. And honestly, it's a disaster. And it's not, I don't attribute that to Black women being Black. I attribute it to them being women, and they're not supposed to be in positions of leadership. Proper men are. Okay. And proper men, I don't tell Black men to vote Republican for my channel. This is what I do. I tell them to make a list of their 10 most important issues. And then you read the RNC's platform, and then you read the DNC's, and you see which political party addresses how many of those issues that you find important. If you're a member of the manosphere, I imagine patriarchy is important. I imagine being able to have your child test paternity tests at birth, things like that are important. Issues of paternity, of custody, rights in divorce, issues with Title IV, issues, all the things that the Democrat Party is going to be completely against, wanting to secure our border so we can have a decent wage and our teenagers can have jobs. Trans convicted pedophile story time at the local library. This is something that the Democrats produce. We will convert your children. A song sung by 100 homosexual men talking about coming to get your boy and your girl and what they choose.
We got to segue into that because they don't know that that's.
Before we segue into that, can we just back up a little bit? Because he said he made 2 strong, valid points. One of the points, that first one, I don't agree with, as far as Black men following after Black women on their voting habits. Please show me the stats and the proof of that, and how.
More single moms raising boys.
Wait, I can't hear you.
More single moms are raising boys. So yes, they're gonna follow their mother. My daddy is a product of a single mother.
And
Dana, so he told me single mother as a race.
Because we just said that Black people started voting Democrat. Well, I said, and that is a fact, that Black people converted to the Democratic Party under FDR. That was in the 30s and the 40s.
Who did the welfare benefit?
Let me just finish the statement. So the single mother pandemic or whatever started basically 60s, and it really took off in the 70s. So you mean to tell me when family was our foundation, and that's when we were thriving, Black men still followed black women as to the voting polls.
He
See,
talking about right now.
the habit of voting did not just happen 20 years ago. That habit voting was over 50 years ago. So your whole theory, because it is a theory that you follow, that black men follow black women into voting, that's inaccurate. Because that habit was already put in place under
before they say
FDR.
something, I will say this.
I'll address
hold on. I
And-
believe Big Nate on this because I'm gonna tell you one thing why. You as a black man, right? And I didn't vote. I voted for Trump. Do you know the level of scrutiny and the side eyes and the disrespect and the unacceptance and what comes with not? I mean, from being you pretty much written off. You're looked at as a white man to black women at that point. They don't like me. I've had a woman tell me, I don't talk to niggas who vote for Trump. You know what I'm saying? So it's niggas out here who are doing that for acceptance. They're weak, but there's men out here doing it for the acceptance of women. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to go. They can't even go.
So is that a man problem or a woman problem?
If I can chime in
on YouTube, and it was a car full of women, and the people in the chat, they're gonna remember this. It was a car full of women. They was riding to the voting booth, and it was one boy. It was her son in the car. It was the aunties, the sisters, everybody. And the mama asked him, "Who did you vote for?" He said, "I voted for Trump." And she went ballistic. What the fuck? We gonna get this motherfucker in office? And she was calling her sisters and everything like that. She did that to her son who was just 18. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, these women are bringing their kids to the booth and telling them, like, I send you the video behind the scenes, but I know I'm telling you in the chat, these brothers see that
they're bringing their adult children. They're adult children because
if I could chime in real quick. If I could chime in real quick.
Go for it, bro.
The level of pressure just on Facebook alone from black women to black men. What is it? Maxine Waters said you're no longer invited to the barbecue to black men that voted for Trump. You would have to be blind, Dana, not to see the level of scrutiny, influence, and outright threats black men have suffered over the last 2 years leading up to the election if you vote for Trump. Somebody put what is it called? Somebody put a billboard up stating that black women are responsible for Biden winning right after the election. Black women saved America.
Remember that campaign.
Let me finish. This was a mantra all over the internet. Black women saved America. And now you want to diminish the role black women have played. Black women are solely responsible in the black community for the vote for this monster goddamn president.
Wait, so first of all, black women did not get Biden into the office. Second of all, let me now. I let you speak. Let me
black women said.
Let me speak. I let you speak. Now let me speak because you could put a billboard out. You could be on YouTube. You could be on social media and say a lot of things, and people will believe you. But the numbers don't lie. The percentage of black men that voted for Biden
80%.
was 90%.
80.
No, it was not. 80. No, it was not. Pull it up. Pull it up.
90% of these niggas is weak.
The percentage of black women, and y'all agree with you, Jap. The percentage of black women that voted for Biden was 98. So the fact is that
I thought it was 91.
No, it was not.
Okay.
Now, the percentage of men, black men who converted and voted Republican for Trump definitely increased by 12%. However, the majority of black men still voted Democrat. So yes, Maxine Waters, for her to get up there and make that comment, because I remember when she did make that comment, and for black men, I could acknowledge that. But I'm looking at black men, okay, you want to complain or you want to do something? Because if you don't do anything, what does that make you look like? You're weak. You don't stick up for yourself. So why didn't you, as a black man in her district, go to her office and demand her to issue a public apology, or you will vote her ass out, or you would bring whatever, any type of media, scrutiny media to her? No, you could do that. But you know what that takes? That takes for you to be organized. That takes for you to have some type of leadership and collectiveness power. And it takes money. And that is the one thing that black people don't have, and that you got to understand when it comes to voting. Anybody can go to a goddamn booth and vote. It does not matter, because that politician, when they're in office, They don't have to honor what you want them, especially if you don't have a physical piece of paper agenda presented to them in their office with a check attached to it. That's why the Asians have all these executive orders and an anti-hate bill specifically for Asian Americans. That's why LGBTQAI have bills passed through Congress and executive orders for them, because they go to these local politicians in Chicago, which a dykey mayor in Chicago, before she was
Hold on, say that one more time.
Yo, dykey mayor in Chicago.
One more time. Fuck her.
Yes, fuck her.
And I want to say
like Beetlejuice,
because Trump tried to help her. Now she want to bring the fans to Chicago.
Yes, exactly.
Fuck
So let me make this point.
Fuck anybody who voted for her.
Before that dykey mayor became mayor,
Turn up.
the LGBTQ was like, bitch, this is what we need. This is what we want. If you give it to us, and this is how much money we're going to give you to your campaign. And when she got her ass in office, they got everything they wanted. So you black men, especially in the manosphere, if y'all got money, and I'm pretty sure y'all professionals and y'all make money, whoop, 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 and you have a collective following, get your ass together collectively and put some money behind politicians with an actual agenda, and you'll see shit get done.
Hold on. Stop. I'm going to stop you right there, Dana. Don't y'all get in the way. You tell them hoes don't get in our goddamn way when we do it.
I'll tell the hoes. Stay out. Wait, let me finish. No, let me finish, because now I'm cooking. Tell the hoes. Let me tell you one thing about a bitch. Let me tell you one thing about a bitch. I tell the hoes, sit your ass the fuck down, because when you got a whole bunch of men together with some motherfucking money and they're organized, bitches going to sit the fuck down, because it's nothing there.
No, y'all keep running y'all mouth, getting in the way. Black Lives Matter is a terrorist group started by black women.
This is, you know who's going to tell them to sit the fuck down? That fucking politician that y'all put in fucking office. Because they're going to say, hold up, I have a group of thousands of men putting me in office, financially investing into me, and they're organized. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm giving them what they want. Period.
Listen.
But you're not even doing that. So what the fuck you think they're complaining
black
for?
Women in leadership, y'all need to fall back. Because when y'all get in leadership, y'all start terrorizing.
Power is taken.
Motherfucking Black Lives Matter is started by black women.
When you give black women,
if I'm gonna fuck you up and punch you in your face, I'm not gonna ask you if I can do it. I'm just gonna do it. So why are you asking black women to leave you alone? Just fucking do what you gotta do.
Let me put my hands around your throat.
Why are you saying let me? Nigga, if you gonna do it, do it.
Out the way. Don't call the police.
Nobody permission to do what you gotta do as a man.
No other man on earth has to deal with a woman who will tell him to go ahead and put your hands around my throat. Jesus Christ.
That's a metaphor. So I think you know that ain't nobody.
No, but what I'm saying though, man, the moment brothers start, okay, for instance, just like, oh,
a nigga don't ask, can I punch you? He just gonna punch you.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna kick you in the ass. But look at when the brothers got together. Look at the resistance we got from the mother-raised males, and then look at the women. Black men, the black community can't progress because the black woman want to be our equivalent. If y'all not included, you know what I'm saying, y'all don't think it's a real movement. For instance, perfect example, Ice Cube. He had a agenda laid out to talk to both presidential candidates. Who gave him resistance?
Black women.
Black women.
And Jap, if I could.
No black man didn't do it.
If I could interject.
Not publicly, not on a platform, not something to derail it, not something to diminish it.
Yes, the
powerful,
did.
the ones who had the biggest microphone.
I'm not saying black women didn't, because they fucked up right
the ones that had the biggest microphone were black women. Black women right now in the world have the biggest microphone right now compared to a black man. They don't have a bigger microphone than a white woman. But y'all have a bigger microphone than us. And the moment we start trying to do shit, here come y'all with the bullshit.
Yeah, if I could interject real quick, let me show you how wicked some black women are. I'm not going to put that on all sisters. Ice Cube came to Fox Soul and talked to those 4 women. And Vivica Fox screamed out at him, well, what about black women? The platinum plan.
Hold on, Nate. They act like they wasn't black people.
Yes, the platinum plan referred to initiatives that would be taken to help black people. But because black women are not front and center on it, it's a problem. That's how and demonic these goddamn women are. They are demonic. They cheer for killing their own children. They're demonic. Sick of these.
So I take it you don't like.
You cannot get along with them. You cannot build with them. You don't
like black women. So
no, I said not all black women. But those monsters on Fox Soul, weren't happy because black women were in front and center on the plan.
Honey, you need to calm down. Because if women,
so you can get excited, but I can't.
If women get you, if a gender get your ass that upset,
that's the tactic. That's the tactic.
Maybe the problem is you.
Nate. Hey Nate, I'm gonna shame you, Nate.
Look, my nigga Nate.
Shame you, Nate. Good. Let me shame you, Nate.
What you talking about? It's a man's world. Sit down. Get your monkey ass down. But no, but I'm saying though, man, every time we try to do this shit, man, here come the women. Where is ours? You just like, dude, we don't need black women in the forefront. Because first of all, I'm gonna tell you this. I want to be the first person on YouTube to say this. Black women are going to start the race war. I'm telling you, Black Lives Matter is a sheer example of that shit. Anybody following Black Lives Matter, you got to understand this when we're dealing with our women. They will start shit and then make you fix shit. So my community right now is still destroyed from Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? Black women had that microphone and niggas got into it. And you hating white folks, you hating all these other races, and you gonna kick this shit off with these people. They are not going to get their hands dirty and fight, especially light-skinned women like Dana. She is not going to fight on the front line and catch a bruise for this shit.
We're gonna keep poking the bear until the bear tears off our heads. They literally want to send black men on kamikaze missions.
I'm saying when the race war kicks off and we actually get our asses slaughtered because we don't know how to shoot, niggas don't know how to hunt, niggas don't know how to pitch a tent, you know what I'm saying? White folks are prepared. Let me tell you something. You niggas, you gang-banging ass niggas, you are not ready for a white wilderness nigga in Kentucky. You are not ready for a white wilderness shooting, accurate sniper shooting ass motherfucker in Tennessee. I'm telling you, you're not ready for that. These niggas, they're not dealing with people. They deal with bears. They're sleeping in the wilderness. You're not ready for that. You're not ready to eat a ration pack for the war. You know what I'm saying? So for you to have your woman to have Keisha on the front line talking that shit, and then you gotta fix that shit when white folks pull up. You know what I'm saying? This is why she need to sit her ass down and not have a microphone. Real talk, because she's provoking these white motherfuckers to fuck you up. You shoot like this. You shoot like this. White folks shoot like this. You're not ready. You're not ready for a race war. You ain't ready for a drone. They ain't even gotta be there. You're not ready for a drone. They drop a drone in Inglewood. You niggas is cooked. Stop it.
Minister Jap, Dr. Brittany Cooper was recently on MSNBC talking about how we need to kill these white MFers. Then she flipped it around real quick and, and if we weren't, nicer people, we would probably be doing that. Brittany Cooper's 300 pounds. You think she's going to be on the front line? I doubt it.
No. But she will have a hellified speech to rally the hearts of these weak men. And what I'm trying to tell you is stop letting the women provoke all of the BS. Now, I want to get into Joe Biden, man. The old Negro, we see them right now trying to make excuses for Joe Biden. Dana, I want to know, how do you feel about the job that Joe Biden is actually doing at this point?
I'm sorry. I just got a notification that the judge I have to start. I usually start my show on Thursdays at 9 p.m., but we will be going live at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. So hopefully this will be done before then. And I
Yeah,
would
we'll be
like
done
for
before
people
then.
to come over, and you also come over, Jap.
Yeah.
So anyway, horrible job. He's making it a very his administration is making it an inconvenience for Americans, especially with him with the press conference he did this week with the COVID and the Omicron and everything. And so I go get tested weekly so that I could work. And then now, one day after his press conference, you can't get tested because the lines are out the door down the street.
Heard
So
about that.
it's inconvenient. So I think that the federal government intentionally probably slowed down on giving local clinics the PCR testing. That's why he's saying 500 rapid tests, 500 million. Well, 500 million rapid tests means nothing when your company wants the PCR, right? Because that's sent out to the lab. Also, it's a money grab. Biden administration is making everybody rich, particularly corporations, pharmaceutical, media corporations, LGBTQAI, Asians, Americans, because all those people actually buy politics. They buy their power, because that's how power is here in America. That's how it works, as capitalism, and we don't. So the fact is that he has done nothing for Black Americans. He was not going to do nothing for Black Americans, but he did something for everybody else. And so his whole administration is the administration of convenience. This man is old. He is senile. And yeah, it's a shit show.
Big Nate, how you feel about Biden, bro? His job that he's doing.
We have a president who was put into office with a coup. Okay, I won't go into that, but it was a coup. Tremendously diminished cognitive abilities. He can barely put a sentence together. He honestly doesn't know what day it is. And his second in command, Ms. Harris, this is unprecedented. Pew Research says Biden's approval rating right now is around 28%. 28%. Kamala Harris is around 25%. This has never been seen in the last 50 years of polling. A first-year president and his vice president with these types of poll numbers. They also said they've never seen the type of poll numbers of the, how will you vote in the midterm election? It's almost 15-point swing in favor of the Republicans. This has never been seen. They're literally expecting possibly 70 seats to be lost. The white Democrat is about to be a thing of the past.
My biggest gripe with the Biden administration is him cutting the Keystone Pipeline and the border. And I'm in Chicago. I know that the cartel has a direct correlation with the crime in Chicago and the drugs. Because I know I've been living around Mexicans my whole life. I lived in a Mexican neighborhood. I know how they get down. You know what I'm saying? They dropping crates of guns in the community. And the way I'm looking at it, this is my theory. I can't say it's fact, but I feel like the cartels is keeping the guns flowing in the community so that it's more murders, because I know from a law enforcement standpoint, murders, stopping murders is more important than stopping the flow and sale of narcotics. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're looked at worse as a mayor with a high murder rate, but yeah, you're solving, you're catching crack dealers, and like people get out for that. Murders are more impactful and more effective, so they got to stop the murders. What the Mexicans from the cartel do, they increase the murders going into my city so that they could keep flooding the city with the dope and flooding the world with the dope. Chicago is their main hub, the Sinaloa cartel, which was El Chapo's cartel. It was two snitch-ass twins from Little Village that was putting out billions of dollars of dope in the city, and it comes straight from Mexico. So the train system in Chicago bring in all the dope. And I know that the illegals, and this is a sanctuary city as well, there's a spot in Little Village where these illegal Mexicans are getting Social security cards. You can like they printing up fake IDs and social security cards. I've seen it plenty of times. They running credit, they moving around. A lot of these people
voting.
are undocumented. The motherfuckers that doing people grass out here can't even speak no goddamn English. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to get bank accounts. They just want cash. So we got a big, we got it just as bad as California here. Because once they get to Chicago, they're not leaving the country. They're good, they're safe, and they're gonna keep that bullshit going. And it directly affects the black man, particularly because if you ever take your black ass to one of their neighborhoods, you're gonna fucking get killed. You know what I'm saying? So like the dangers that's going on in the city and the way that they tribe up like they do, and they still do legitimate business in the midst of it. But a lot of those taco spots and taquerias are money laundering spots for the cartel or hubs and pickup spots for the cartel. Chicago is where this shit come in through. That's why it's so turned.
Jap, but those are our friends, Jap. Those are our Democrat brothers and sisters.
I know the agenda. They only coming over here to do some fuck shit or to take advantage of some shit that we laid, because we as black people, we laid the foundation for them to even be treated like human beings.
But yeah, we're supposed to open our arms and embrace these people on the Democrat side of things. These are our brothers and sisters.
Illegal immigration. I don't even think we need any more immigrants. What the fuck do we need any more for? You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I thought you liked immigrants. Don't you date them?
No, they're here. They're here already. We got them already.
You're still an immigrant.
We got enough. We don't need any more. I like exotics. I like spices.
So you don't want the new ones.
I like spicy. You can keep the Keishas and Tashas. All right. But Dana, you said something about reparations, and we got to break down your girl with the pearls, Kamala Harris.
Chucks and pearls.
You know what I'm saying? And how she truly feels about the black community and what she will actually do to help us. This is your girl, and this is Kamala's homie. They went to grammar school together. They got the same hairstylist, and they wear the same blazers when they go to church. You know what I'm saying? You know, this your cousin, Dana.
Support reparations for black people.
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have
Hey, Dana, when politicians are asked questions, and it's like does it have to be like a build up, like a paragraph built, like an intro?
Yes. The biggest finesser, the charismatic President Barack Obama, he was good at that. So that's where this one's trying to get it from. They're all liars. Yes.
Look at her. You're not going to tell me she does not look like Lassie in the face. You're not going to tell me she does not look like Lassie in the face. Right here. This face right here. She look like a Sprangle. What do you call her?
If I could say something real quick.
Go ahead, Dave.
The left has weaponized race and gender. That's all they know how to do. They take everything, all these social constructs, and they weaponize them to silence you, to make sure you can't fight back and you can't use certain words. You can't even acknowledge there's two genders anymore. This is what the left has become. On my show, I call them the Luciferian left. I call them the demon party. That's what I call.
Let's get back into this, y'all.
Segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around.
Okay, let's go back. What was the fucking question? See, when I listen to these people, I be forgetting the damn question half the time.
Exactly.
I forgot the question. I really forgot the question.
Do you support reparations for black people?
All right, let me write this down. Do you support reparations? Okay. This is like a yes. Yes, I do. Blah, 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 blah. No, I don't. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's what a normal human being will do, but let's let Lassie talk.
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination.
Whoa! Get your girl.
Segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that segregation and discrimination that is segregation segregation have
Wow.
Segregation and discrimination that is not legal.
I want that to be my ringtone.
And is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the
Okay, the question was never answered.
Of course not.
The question was
question
never
is
answered.
answered. You got to play it to the end.
reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that.
Wait for it.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
So no, I don't support reparations. And she, first of all, whether she believed it or not, she had to say it because she wanted to be VP, because she knew damn well she wasn't going to be president. Second of all, she probably do believe that because she is not Black. And I think people keep forgetting that. She used to call herself Kamala, but she went back to the Indian term. Yeah, Kamala. She's not Black.
And the Sacramento Bee, when she was elected to the United States Senate, called her the first Indian senator ever elected.
Yeah. So you use words when it's beneficial to who you trying to attract. So she's in San Francisco. What's the majority population in San Francisco?
Yay!
Asians as well. When you're talking about homeowners, business owners, people who actually donate to your campaign, yes, LGBTQAI and Asian Americans. So yes, I'm Indian, but when she come to Chicago, to New York, or South Carolina, because y'all Negroes in the South, y'all some coons. Whether I don't give a damn whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. Y'all have a lot of shit with y'all, but when she's down there, yeah, she come with a country accent. So it's who do I have to appeal to get money for my campaign and get their vote?
Just another.
I think you'll make a great Kamala Harris for Halloween, Dana. I think you should be Kamala for Halloween.
Oh my goodness! What you saw was a display of disingenuousness. I mean, and of course, the person from the media is not going to press her on it because all Democrats get a pass, completely. They're never pressed on anything. The media is their little Marxist propagandist cheerleaders. So I don't expect any kind of serious discussion to be had on reparations with a Kamala Harris.
Well, let me just say this. Because I'm not going to sit up here and dump on the Democrats as if they're the only ones full of shit. Republicans too. Like I don't trust any politician, and I'm not committed to any party. Yes, I voted for Trump, and on a local level, I purposely voted Republican straight across because we finally had some Republicans on the ballot. But I knew that the Democrats that was on that ballot was going to win. A lot of times when you vote, it's not so much that person is going to get into office or get out of office. It's just to really put people on notice, because they look at how many votes did I lose to the other side, even though I won. And that is an indicator to let them know we have a problem. A lot of Black people this past election, this past November, voted Republican, which is why the governor of Virginia is a Republican, which is why in New Jersey, I believe that the Republican one won, but Murphy pulled it out by 2%. It should have been a runoff. Which is why we don't have a mandate like New York City.
That was going to be a big eye opener. I mean,
so the midterms next year is going to be a bloodbath. So if you notice why they're gearing up with the mandates and the masks, because they're trying to figure out a way to cheat.
Yeah. And I think that's the only reason why Biden won, is because of the mail-in voting and all the COVID restrictions and shit like that. Because there's no way a person who's using
your basement campaigning the whole time. Trump was out hopping off planes in South Dakota and the South and in New York State. He was out there. This nigga was in his basement on a Zoom.
In Pennsylvania, Trump had a rally that drew 58,000 people. Biden could not draw 200 in Pennsylvania, and I'm supposed to believe Biden won Pennsylvania. Gotcha. Like I said, it was a coup.
And like, just looking at his Twitter, he had like about 17 million people at the time following him. Trump had like 100 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way in hell that a person, when you say that this man got the most votes in history, you're saying he's the most popular person. He got more votes than JFK. You know what I'm saying?
Obama.
He got more votes than Obama on his second term. Most Black folks voted for Obama spitefully. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't even care what he was. He Black. You voted for him.
Think of the lunacy, Jap. Barack Obama lost Georgia. You're telling me Biden won it? Are you fucking kidding me? How did Barack Obama lose Georgia and Biden won it? Explain that to me.
Because Biden is a Dixiecrat.
Stop.
No. Do you know what a Dixiecrat is? Because Biden is really the if you want to say who's a racist, it's really Biden. Biden did deals. He knows how to do deals with Republicans and with Democrats in the favor in their favor. So let's not get that twisted. Let's not think that behind the scenes, like when we look at what's going on now when Senator Manchin got his foot on Joe Biden's neck.
Yes.
However, but do you really think this man, now slow down, because this is the thing with politics in DC. In the media, it looks like I'm standing up for Americans. But in DC, in that fucking White House, he's saying, I want this, I want that. And if I don't get it, then I'm going to keep my foot on your fucking neck. And you're not going to get that Build Back Better Act passed. It's about what you could do for me.
Well, Big Nate, I'm gonna hold that thought real quick. You brought up something that we got to really break down, and we got to actually show the people, because you said that a lot of the Democrats never get pushback. We about to show the reaction of how these Democratic leaders act when they actually get pushback with real questions that are logical. See, when we were at the conference, I told you, we don't got to use the word Republican or Democrat. We could just talk about logical and conservative. Are you logical and conservative? You know what I'm saying? Or are you liberal and a maniac? You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. We're gonna see what happens when you press them with that realness.
Pleased to have joining me for a God's honest conversation, the Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
Hey, Charlamagne. Good to be with you.
My first question is a question that after the pandemic, when I ask, I expect a real answer, okay? You ready?
Okay.
How are you?
Oh, thank you for that. And I know you really mean it. I am well. I am well. I am blessed. You know, there is a lot of good that we can and have done, and I feel energized about continuing to get the work done. So thank you, and my family as well, and that's all I could hope for. So thank you for asking.
Let's talk about some of that work, because, you know, it's people like me that were motivated to vote for you and we feel as if you've disappeared. If not disappeared, been silenced. Is that the case?
Not at all. I mean, even this week, there were two things that I'm actually more than that I'm extremely proud of that has been the product of months and months of work. One,
now, she has been silent as hell when it comes to that border. That was her first task.
Yes.
The border.
The borders are.
And this is the worst border in history. And my problem, I didn't expect her to do good. My problem is with the older black folks, my parents' age, and the even older ones, making excuses for this bullshit. How do y'all feel about that fucking border?
It's a nightmare. Our former president took steps to secure it, to keep illegals of all races, all shades, all creeds from coming over that border, bringing drugs, bringing crime, bringing disease. Not saying that every immigrant is bringing that, but that's a huge part of what comes over. The immigrants, the illegal immigrants, they take away the value of our vote. They pull on the resources. They may not qualify for welfare, but they do qualify for certain welfare programs like free lunches. Their children qualify for free lunches, for after school programs, everything.
I'm gonna tell you this. They're not going to be Republicans. That's not 2 million Republicans coming up.
No, they're going to reward the people that give them the welfare. They're going to reward the people that made a way for them to come into this country illegally. That's what they're going to do. It is a nightmare. And the crazy thing is, they tried to attribute the children in cages to Trump when it was Barack Obama that built those cages. It's just, it's insanity all around, but I'll pass it to Ms. Dana.
How I feel about the border. I mean, technically we did not have a border in a sense of a lot of people don't understand that a lot of people that lived in Mexico right there at the border they worked in the United States, So I would say under Trump, that was his claim to fame when he announced his presidency coming down the Trump Tower Golden Staircase. And he said that I'm going to put a border on the Mexican, down on the Mexican border to keep the Mexicans out because they're all criminals. And that made headlines, right? Now, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's more deeper than that, but they use that, oh my God, he's a racist. That's when the racism started. But as far as Biden and at the border, it is a mess because when he became president, we had a second caravan of immigrants.
100,000.
Now, where it was the Haitian, and then you started to see Haitians coming because the Haitians wasn't fucking with Trump because they knew that, okay, he's definitely not going to let us in. But under Biden, maybe so, but there was still hundreds and thousands of other immigrants that were non-Haitians coming in. So it was another caravan. And a lot of those people, whether we believe it or not, were let in, were given some type of benefit, more so than Trump, because you're not getting in under Trump. But under Biden, a lot of those immigrants from that migration was allowed in. Kamala Harris is corporate. One thing about corporate, if you go with the flow, that means you stay under the radar. So that's why she never went down there. Her presence, she didn't really speak on it because she did not want to get her hands dirty. So which led to allowing a lot of those illegal immigrants coming in, which is why now you have organizations and lawyers suing the federal government for $450,000 per member of each family that was separated at the border. Which is why Biden is now implementing Trump's policies at the border. When he got rid of them, he's putting them back into law because he cannot control it. So
I hate the fact that when Trump did it, it's bad. When Biden do it, it's good. The same way they're doing in Chicago right now because Lori Lightfoot did not want Trump's help to bring in the feds and the ATF to stop the guns that's coming in here and the illegal guns that's getting brought into Chicago. But now it's so bad. Now she wants to take the help from the government.
But not only that, she didn't want Trump help when we were in lockdown for the COVID-19. She didn't want his help. But now she wants the federal government help because you need it. You had Kamala Harris saying that I'm not going to take the Trump vaccine. There's no such thing as a Trump vaccine because it was those same company, Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, that made the vaccination. Because Trump was president, they were going to put something else in the ingredient. So it's when you look at that, when you hear people, and people believe that, they believe that. And like, you can't be that gullible. And a lot of people just are.
We are just emotional. We are emotionally driven for everything, and they know that. And they play on it. We got the Jesus complex, and we got the racism thing is the biggest distraction, you know what I'm saying, of any progress we have. The Jesus complex, the racial distraction, and they just play off the emotions. Trump,
and let me just say this
not voting for Trump was an emotional decision.
Let me just say this to Brandon. That's your name, right? Nathaniel, sorry. They are getting welfare checks, especially if it's a sanctuary city. In Connecticut, number 9, he works at City Hall and the welfare department is there. He was like, it's not majority of Black women or Black people getting welfare. It's the immigrants who do have citizenship or green card or temporary residency, and illegals. They're getting food stamps, they're getting a check, but they're getting it if you're in a sanctuary city. There's so much money out here. Yes, which is why they are pushing. When you look at sanctuary cities, democratic cities, they're getting, first of all, more money to fight coronavirus for these lockdowns or whatever, and for sanctuary cities and illegal immigrants. In New York City, the council people in New York City just passed a law that if you are a non-citizen, you can vote.
I've heard that.
Well, check this out. Check this out, Jap. For all the promoters of BLM over the summer of 2020 and the incredible spike in violence in cities like Chicago, 50% increase in murders from 2019 to 2020, you'll be happy to know that Illinois Democrat Senate leader Kimberly Lightford gets carjacked at gunpoint. And in the city of Philadelphia, House Democrat Mary Gay Scanton carjacked at gunpoint in Philadelphia. The children are coming home to roost on these motherfuckers. Good for them.
Let's take a look at
you wanna play this whole thing? Oh, that's torture.
Something you and I have discussed before, the issue of maternal health. So I brought the issue of maternal health to the front stage of the White House for the first time, talking about what you and I have talked about, that Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die in connection with childbirth, Native women twice as likely to die, rural women 60% more likely. And we talked about it in terms of, look, this is an issue that needs to be addressed both in terms of the racial bias in the medical health profession, but also we need to address it in terms of the fact that after a woman gives birth to another human being, it's not right to say she's only going to get 60 days of coverage through Medicaid for what she might need in terms of postpartum treatment, whether it be depression or just
Notice, Nate, it's always an agenda for the women. Never anything to benefit the brothers.
Before Nate answered that, number one, she talked about maternity help for Black women or whatever.
We get dental and vision.
It didn't even do an executive order. That one thing that she did promise that she wanted to give Black people, she has not even pushed Joe Biden to sign an executive order. Forget Congress, because you got to pass through the House and the Senate. They don't even have an executive order. The first executive order that they signed was for LGBTQ. The second was for Asian Americans, and they had hundreds of them. So the very thing, like you said, it's always for women. Black women is not even getting that support.
Can I just got to chime in on this. This whole spiel of hers is bullshit.
Yeah.
She said the numbers are twice as high for Black women, but those numbers are infinitesimal. They're almost non-existent. Black women aren't dying in birth. What, maybe in a year? This is bullshit. It's more fucking bullshit. So 5 white women die and double the number of Black women die out of 100.
More Black women are pregnant.
This is fucking insane.
At best.
You're so stupid. It's not that they're dying at birth. What she's missing out, it's not that they're dying at birth. They have more pre-existing conditions that are going unchecked, which could result in complications when you're giving birth, which can end up in death.
Let's teach our young girls to take better care of themselves.
Well, you need money for that. So again, but she's not even doing that. But they're not even. Public policy is what helps people in communities. They're not even initiating public policies on the very thing the one thing that she said that she was going to do. That is the point. See, I'm not going to go back and forth with you about.
My problem is waiting for the government, waiting for these scumbag leftists to do anything. We don't need to wait on them to do anything. We can save our own children and our own communities when they're filled with like-minded people that actually want to accomplish something. I'm not talking about saving the communities filled with people, just happy with their dependency and their welfare. We can't do anything about them, but we can do something about our children. I'm a single parent. I got full custody of my children when they were 2 and 5. I had to raise them by myself. Their mother wasn't around. And my daughter is gorgeous. My son is a mixed martial artist. His fights are on my YouTube channel. We can do it. We can do it. I'm not waiting for somebody like Kamala Harris to do shit.
Camilla.
Christ. Go ahead.
Let's go, man.
So we're saying let's extend it for a year. Dealing with an issue that uniquely affects Black women, fibroids. We don't talk about this stuff publicly, but Black women know that it is a real issue in terms of their health and their life. So we're bringing that to the public stage, and this has been the product of work I've been doing for many years, even before I got to the White House, but bringing it to the stage. Another issue, I just did an event yesterday about lead pipes. Well, look at the issue of lead pipes. What we know.
What the fuck? Bruh, we got real shit going on, man. Real shit. We got a border. We got gas that's through the roof. Lead paint and lead pipes. You ain't even fixed the water in Flint. This is retarded, man. But it's old Black folks who make excuses for these motherfuckers.
Is that especially our children who are in public housing and public schools are more likely to be exposed to lead in paint and in pipes. And so we've put through our infrastructure bill a lot of resources into saying, let's clean up those pipes. Let's save the health of our children. And why? Because I've met mothers and fathers all over the country, from Michigan to Ohio, all over the country, who talk about the fact that when they turn on that tap, they are afraid that when they fill that glass of water.
I see what politicians are able to do. You ask them a direct question, they could take you in a la-la land, because I don't even know what the question was. They make you forget the question. I need to start doing that with women. They start asking me like, yeah, if my girl asked me, where were you last night? Well, see, just put a whirlwind of bullshit, and then she just forget the question.
If you're drinking tap water, you're a fucking lunatic. Anyway, who the fuck drinks tap water?
Motherfuckers in Jersey.
The lie your ass tell. Nigga, right next to Detroit. Don't play with me.
Jersey and Cleveland.
You crazy as shit. We'll be a fucking riot out here if it was lead in our fucking pipes. That's why they fixing a lot of damn pipes.
And so we're dealing with that because you know why? For our children, half of children under the age of 6, Charlemagne, in America are exposed or are at threat of being exposed to lead. That can stunt their growth. It can have permanent damage in terms of their mental capacity to be educated and literally.
You know what stunts kids' growth?
Abortion.
Thank you. God damn, Big Nate. Now you're anointed.
Well, can I just say this real quick? This monster, in her one debate with Mike Pence said to her, well, Senator Harris, from what I understand, you're in favor of abortion up to and including the day the baby's due. Do you know what this monster said? She avoided the question. She wouldn't respond to it. You can go to YouTube. The clip is by itself. In the one vice presidential debate of 2020, this woman is for abortion up to the day the baby's due.
Why do you think she avoided that question?
They're Luciferians.
Why do you think she avoided that question?
Because she believes in it.
No.
She believes you can abort.
No, that's not why. That's not why.
Being.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because Planned Parenthood gives the DNC $400+ million annually. So do you really think I'm gonna go on national TV and say, yeah, I think that's wrong, and that goes against Planned Parenthood that is funding my my political party $400 million? Didn't I just say it's all about the power and the economics? You buy politicians.
That I can't. Dana, you got a point there today.
All this abortion debate, yeah, that's all well and cute, but you gotta, like I said, you gotta dig just a little bit deeper. Where's the money going? Where's the money coming from?
Well, one thing we can give credit to the Republicans, they've done a masterful job in reducing the access to abortion in states.
No, they have not.
Oh, yes, they have, madam.
Like
There's
how?
one abortion clinic in 10 different states now. One that does abortion. Abortion.
What states are that? South Dakota,
Texas.
where there's only 10 people.
Texas.
The Texas heartbeat.
That
bill.
just passed this year.
That and was upheld by the Supreme Court.
No, but that was this year. So don't act like the Republicans are so holier than thou. I said in the beginning of the show, both parties are full of shit.
Ma'am,
so I'm not going to sit up here and say that the Republican Party is so great and the Democratic Party is so bad, and that's what fucks black people over. Because stop picking a side. Stop picking a side and start putting your money where your fucking mouth is with a goddamn agenda so you could get stuff done. It doesn't matter what fucking party. It's about how much money you have to buy that fucking politician.
Doesn't matter what party. Done. See, this is where
all about the motherfucking money. This is America. This is a capitalist society. This is the best fucking country in the world. It is about capitalism. Nothing moves but the motherfucking money. No, you don't gotta tell me ain't on shit.
Let me tell you why you're
money. What matters is the fucking money. You had Wall Street.
Can I speak?
The first, no, you can't, because I'm talking. The first people that was sold on fucking Wall Street at stock was enslaved Africans. It's all about the fucking money. The sugar nexus. America was created for the ability for freedom and to get wealthy. So yes, if you don't got fucking money here, you don't got shit.
All right, now to address this,
talk to it, Nate.
To address this dishonest belief that there's no difference between the parties, I'll give you your credit when it comes to misappropriation of funds. When it comes to corruption, misusing the tax dollar, I'm not going to argue with that. But on cultural issues, these parties couldn't be more fucking different. You are insane if you think they're the same. One of these parties promotes boys can be princesses too. The other doesn't. One of these parties promote taking your 5-year-old to convicted pedophile trans story time at the local library. The other party doesn't. One of these parties are attempting to pass legislation in certain states where newborns will not have a classification of sex or gender. The child will decide after they turn 6 or 7 years old. And one party hasn't. One party fought in California to remove the stipulation that if you have HIV, you have to tell your intended sexual partner. That was the Democrats that did that. And now people can murder people with AIDS in California. There is a significant cultural difference between the parties, Miss Dana.
She had to get that work.
Mr. Nate.
She had to get that work.
I'm about to deliver some more work to that ass. Because like I said,
let's go.
Like I said, black man. It's all about the motherfucking money. Now, you highlighted actual points, but go back to the root of it, because the LGBTQAI community gives the DNC $500 million annually. So they're going to do what the fuck that the LGBTQAI community tell them to do. You got Hollywood, you got fucking social media, you have corporations, you have wealthy individuals. The LGBTQAI community is powerful and wealthy. So if I want 5-year-olds to have a story read to them by a fucking tranny, or if I want a 5-year-old to say that I don't want a dick and I want it removed at 5, I'm going to pay this fucking politician to pass legislation to do so. It's all about the fucking money. So everything you said with that Bible thumping, blah, 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 culture shit, yeah, okay, that's cute. But it's all about.
Do you see how black women diminish shit?
It's all about.
Do you see how black women diminish shit?
You have no fucking money.
Do you see how black women diminish
shit?
You can't even have power. You can't even have conversations.
You don't have
all we do is diminish what you say and do.
Power.
Stop diminishing my shit.
I'm diminishing you because you
stop
have no
diminishing my
money.
shit.
You don't
That's
have
what
no
you need
money.
to do, madam.
You don't have no money. You don't have no money.
Ma'am, I'm the guy that got 100 black men to come to Atlanta.
I'm talking about you personally.
Ma'am.
Don't take this
and what we're going to do
about black people, and I'm talking about black people, men and women don't have fucking money. You don't have money, which means you don't have
We
power.
have $1.2 trillion in the black community. How do we not have money?
Going the fuck where? Where's it going?
Madam.
Where's it going?
Oh
where's it going?
BBLs.
Do we have money or do we not have money?
In goddamn Colombia, y'all taking trips to Jamaica with your homegirls. Y'all blowing the bag.
I'm not fucking disagreeing with you with that shit. So you saying
y'all making it rain in Atlanta? We was down there. We was down there. Y'all ain't doing shit with the money.
The black community has $1.2 trillion disposable money. Stop saying we don't have money.
Fucking paying a fucking politician. So who looks dumb? We do.
No doubt. We agree.
1.7
we
trillion.
Agree,
and we don't got no fucking politicians in the pocket. So yes, you
Jap,
said this whole thing about
Jap, what did I talk about at the Manosphere meetup?
Democrats.
Jap, we can't disclose everything we talked about. Did Little Big Nate not talk about having lobbyists?
Yes.
Did I not talk about how I've looked into the cost of lobbying companies to work on our behalf and how the Manosphere could fund these lobbying companies monthly?
See, but again, it goes. I hear both of y'all. Again, it goes to what I was telling y'all earlier. Once we start doing this shit, who's gonna get in our way? Mother-raised males and our own damn women.
Yes. Hopefully not Dana, because Dana sounds like this is what she wants. So
let's see, man. All right, let's let Charlamagne cook,
so we can hold them properly responsible for what they're doing to harm all of us.
I agree. You talked about a lot of the things that y'all have done with the administration, but it's a few things still left on the table.
It's Simone. I just want to know if this has to be our last question.
You know who that is,
okay.
Right?
What happened to that student loan money? What happened?
That's Simone.
I meant to send you another clip of her. She's
Simone.
The one,
I thought she quit.
She's at the end of this year, she's leaving, but she's the one. If during the campaign when Biden was talking, somebody ran up on the stage and she tackled the white girl off the stage like a linebacker. I should have sent you that clip.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna use that.
To the $10,000 promised to the students for student loan debt. Why did they renege on that?
So I know you had Secretary Cardona on recently, and I'll tell you, he is working to increase relief for students. And look, I get it. I get the issue that you're talking about. I had student loans. I mean, look, it's right now we have so many people, tens of millions of people in the United States who are dealing with student loan debt and responsibilities, and it's standing in the way of them being able to start a family or buy a home. And it's real, and we need to deal with it. I remember, I'm gonna date myself, but I had that little coupon where I'd have to pull out the coupon and put in the number and send a check with it every month. And that's real. That is real.
We need you to be the superhero that saves democracy. Somebody has to push back on Joe Manchin. That guy is stopping progress. He's ruining democracy. Are you willing to be that superhero? Because what scares me is if voting rights don't pass, or the Build Back Better plan doesn't pass, or police reform doesn't pass, I doubt you're going to get black people to go out there and vote in 2022 and 2024. And, you know, Trump will be president again. What's the plan for all of that?
Well, I couldn't agree with you more on the seriousness of these issues and how people take these issues seriously. And so we're going to have to keep fighting. On voting rights, we need to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. We need to pass the Freedom to Vote Act and be relentless about pushing for that, which is what we have been doing and what I certainly am going to keep doing. We need to keep pushing for what we got to do to really reform the system that we know needs to be reformed with the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. But, you know, again, Republicans stood in the way to get that done. So what did we do? Well, through the Department of Justice, we banned chokeholds and carotid holds. We said that law enforcement at the federal level, where we had the power to do it without Congress, that they have to wear body.
So they didn't ban chokeholds when Buddy was in New York and he was selling loose cigarettes.
Yeah.
He was selling loose.
They're talking about state level. The federal government cannot tell a state to ban something. So it's a difference between state police people and federal police.
Okay, because I just didn't see the importance when that happened to that dude.
Cameras when they're serving warrants. We put in place investigations of police departments that are active investigations right now. We are supporting consent decrees. So we are doing those things in the face of Republican opposition, but we cannot give up. None of us can. And the reality is, because the issues are too serious and they impact everybody every day. And I agree with you. They're very serious.
Who's the superhero that's going to speak against Joe Manchin? No. I want to know who's the real president of this country. Is it Joe Biden or Joe Manchin?
I'm sorry. I interrupted. I don't think the vice president can hear you. It's Simone. I'm so sorry, Charlamagne. We have to wrap.
She can hear me.
You can hear me? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me, Madam Vice President?
So I'm sorry. We got to wrap.
Oh.
So I'm sorry to interrupt.
They're acting like they can't hear me. Y'all see that?
I can hear you.
Oh, so who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlamagne.
Come
on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris. And the reality is, because we are in office, we do the things like the child tax credit, which is going to reduce black child poverty by 50%, on track to do that. We do things that are about saying that our Department of Justice is going to do these investigations and require that we end chokeholds and have body cameras. It is the work of saying we're going to get lead out of pipes and paint because our babies are suffering because of that. It is the work of saying people who ride public transit deserve the same kind of dignity that anybody else does. So let's improve that system. It is the work of saying that we have got to bring down prescription drug costs because folks who have diabetes.
Bullshit. Didn't Trump already lower the cost of the pharmaceuticals for diabetics beforehand? That was already done already, from what I heard. My mama got diabetes.
I think under Trump, I don't know. I'm not diabetic.
Yeah, insulin is pretty expensive, so I don't know that any.
I think it was already lowered before they even got in there, though. But yeah, man, you see, like what you said, when they ask them real questions, you know what I'm saying? They can't. They have to ask heartwarming, answer heartwarming, fluffy ass questions with easy answers. You know what I'm saying? With Trump, what I like about Trump really took the hard-hitting questions and he gave harsh-ass answers that was needed. And that was the fucking problem, that nobody was shocked because everybody's been getting lied to for the longest. It's kind of like hearing the Bible from your preacher or hearing the Bible from a Hebrew Israelite. You know what I'm saying? that's when it's like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? I don't think everybody could take that shit.
Jap, I have a question though.
Yeah.
She talked about this bill that they want to pass that will help lower Black child poverty by 50%. How in the hell are you going to lower Black child poverty by 50% without addressing the issue of single motherhood, which is the main contributor to Black child poverty? What the hell are these people talking about?
Well, when they incentivize it, then a woman could say, okay, cool, I could just have an extra kid now. Now, you know what I'm saying?
Which just leads to more Black child poverty, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't understand how they plan on cutting it by 50%.
We can't get out of poverty without the nuclear family. I'm going to be honest with you. We're not going to get out of poverty without the nuclear family. And the more and more programs they put together that incentivize you to not have a nuclear family, the more poverty we're going to be. Dana, I know you got something to say.
Not just Black women.
It takes two to tango. Who gets you pregnant?
Well, that's a man and a woman is a nuclear family. And when you do look at Black people, it's more head of household run by women. And they use the word. It's funny because when you're reading an article or something and they're talking about families in America or the Black family, it's funny because it's not your typical family. And I'm like, why don't they just say what it is? And we have to remind ourselves, when they say the head of household in the Black community, that's mainly a woman, 75%. And then, okay, and I just did a show on this, and when they broke down the stats of the plight of Black men, what is going on with Black men, and that, yes, Black men do need, it's like a new deal specifically for Black men, and all of the factors that was holding Black men back out of poverty. But it is this, one of the things that struck me is they're saying if you are born into poverty as a Black man or Black person, basically, it's an 80% chance that you're going to remain in poverty. It's only a 19% chance that you will come out of that. What compared to a white man is double. So there are a lot of factors that go into mainly when you look at the Monahan report and the Brookings Institute report that just came out highlighting the problem with Black people and a Black family, you have to invest in a Black man. That is going to lead Black people out of poverty, investing in the Black man. That topple on next to the nucleus family. So you can't just say Black family, and that's why I'm saying you can't say Black family, especially when you're talking to corporations or politicians, because you have to understand their idea of a Black family is woman head of household, because that's still a family. But what is the makeup of that family? When you mentioned Brittany Cooper, she also said, well, all families look different in the Black community. I was raised by my mother and my grandmother. That is a family, right?
So that
is a Black family, but that's not going to raise you out of poverty. A man and a woman with their child being together under one roof.
We got to watch our wording, basically what you said.
Yes.
So where did they use the term minority?
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up. I hate that word. That's not us.
Women could actually be in there.
White women,
gays,
your sexuality. So everything,
all immigrants,
everything except for white men.
Everything except for white men. Yeah. But again, the Black man is gonna get overstepped. We're at the bottom of the total poll. I want to take some calls real quick. Awesome. We're gonna take a brief commercial break, and we got, if y'all just tuning in, we got Little Big Nate live with the church. We got Dana with the data and the glasses live with the church, and Batten and Kamala are coming for your children.
Children. soon we're almost certain your kids will start converting you. The gay agenda is coming home. The gay agenda is here. But you don't have to worry. Cause there's nothing wrong with standing by our side. Get on board in a hurry. Because the world always needs a bit more pride. No, you don't have to worry. Because there's nothing wrong with standing by your side. Get on board in a hurry. Because the world always needs a bit more pride. Come on, try a little pride. We'll convert your children. Then we'll turn to you. Giving up the fear inside is freeing like you never knew. Go and see San Francisco. Go and turn up that disco. You'll forget you were ever upset. We'll convert your children and make an ally of you yet. We'll make an ally of you yet. We'll make an ally of you yet.
Man, if y'all just tuned in, we are live in the church. Today's topic, man, is a powerful discussion I got Lil Big Nate in the building. I got Dana with the data in the building. We are ready to take calls. The topic is the results of victim voting for Black folks. Where has it gotten us? Where has it taken us? Have we won? Have we lost? Feel free to call in 563-999-3641. You know, we got Dana in the building. You dig? Lil Big Nate in the building. Hey, tell these people where they can subscribe to y'all at, man. Because people are asking, man, who's bruh? They loving your fire.
I appreciate it, man. I'm fairly new to the manosphere as far as the channel is concerned. I've been in the space for about 4.5, 5 years, but I've had a channel for about 9 months. And I'm hoping you gentlemen will get me very close to 3,000 subscribers. But I just dropped the link literally in the chat about 7 seconds ago. So feel free to hit it. And you will hear things that you've never heard on any other platform before. I'm kind of known for my oratorical skills. I do like 1.5, 2 hour monologues, and they're pretty fire. So please come through. I'd love to have you.
Okay. And Dana with the data. Let these people know that most of them know you. You know what I'm saying? But some of them don't. So, you know,
Go to my YouTube channel, The Real Dana. Today I'm doing a show, me and Judge Joe Brown, called The Man Up Show, because he be telling y'all Black men and all men to man the hell up. And and stop worrying about women, what they doing and not doing. Just man the hell up and do your job.
Fuck that. We on your ass in the rain.
Yeah, but nah. He's not thinking about women. He ain't thinking about.
He retired.
He ain't thinking about women like that.
He lived in his 70s.
Even when he was not retired, a bitch he don't listen to women. He's like, I never listen to women. I would never follow a woman. He don't listen to me. He don't listen to me shit. So he don't listen to no woman. He said I would never follow a woman, and he never did. He never will. No, he says, yes, I'm misogynistic. Yes, I'm a sexist.
There you go.
But he does not disrespect women. You know, he showed women respect, but at the same time, he's not following after a bitch.
Fuck him.
No, don't intertwine that with the judge.
Fuck him.
He's going crazy right now. He's going crazy.
Oh,
now, shut up.
Your pussy. Hey, bring the camera, son. Bring the camera. All the young girls who want to make life with pussy, your pussy will perish with you in hell. May your pussy perish with you. May your smooth pussy, creamier pussy, and tight pussy perish with you.
All right.
You You need therapy. Well, anyway, subscribe to my channel, The Real Dana. We usually go live at 9, but apparently he wants to go live this afternoon. So we'll be going live in like an hour or two.
Okay, we ain't gonna be that long. Let's see who we got on the lines. 201. You on with Dana and Lil Big Nate in the church.
Jaffa Styles. Don't tell me I'm first, baby. What's good?
What's
Dana
going on,
Brick
fam?
City checking in. What's going on?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, bro. Hey, fire talk today. I want to hit on two things. Dana, I'm in New Jersey as well. I live in Irvington. It's right next to Newark, if you don't know where that's at. And I would like to talk to you about the election. I'm gonna make it quick, but the election, one, and two, what happened during the primary. So everything you said, Little Big Nate, was absolutely correct about black men. I live in Irvington, and if you don't know what Irvington is, it's outside of Newark. Basically, it's Compton and Cleveland together.
Oh, shit.
Hey.
If you want to know what it looks like. All right. But basically, there was a big thing, as you know, that there was big voter fraud. The day of the election last November, there was the Democratic, I voted for Jack Citarelli, which was the Republican candidate out here. And basically, the Democratic Party was doing their damnedest. They understood as it got closer to the election, right, more and more black folks wasn't coming out and voting Democrat. So you start seeing Murphy, Oliver posters everywhere, you know, this, that, and the fourth. And, you know, if you don't know it or not, they actually called for Citarelli at first. Murphy's camp didn't call it at first, but they came to my house. It was just like, hey, we want you to know that we're voted for whatchamacallit, this, that, and the fourth. Everybody, I'm a homeowner and I'm a landlord. So I own a multifamily building. Basically, everybody in this house, even my tenants that I rent to, voted for Donald Trump. You know, they're smack in the middle of the ghetto. So we understand the stakes that are that are here, and it's becoming more prevalent every day. And the Democrats know what time it is. Unless you're in Newark, where Mayor Mary Baraka's son runs the city, you know what I'm saying? Really, don't nobody in Newark vote for the Democrats anymore. The second thing is the event that happened before that. So there was a primary vote in New Jersey, and I'm going to my polling place, which is the elementary school behind my home. So I go in there, and as you can imagine, the people running the polling place are these old ass ladies. So old ass ladies, you know, been in the church all their life. So they gave me the first thing that they did is they asked me for my information. I gave it to them. And then they gave me the Democratic primary slip. And one of the young girls had to say, no, you have to let him pick. This old boy was like, well, he's going to pick Democrat anyway. Who votes for a Republican? You know?
All that was illegal. All of that was illegal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, it damn sure was. I had to stop her and say, excuse me, no, it's not true. I'm actually a Republican. I'm actually a registered Republican. I would like the Republican primary sheet. The faces in that room, they looked, all them old ladies just turned around in unison and turned and looked at me as to say, what in the fuck is wrong with you? And I was just flabbergasted. I'm just like, you know what y'all doing is illegal, right? I can report all of you.
Yes.
And it's gotten so bad in the state of New Jersey. Like, Dana, you know that election was stolen. All right. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. All right. I had to take a picture of my ballot and basically at the polls, at the ballot, and I basically wrote in all Republican all the way down. When I looked it up, when I went on the state website and checked, it said that I voted Democrat.
I didn't do that. I didn't know you could do that. I should have did that because you have to mail it in. You had to put it in a drop box. You didn't go in and press the button. You had to fill out the form and put it in a drop box. That was last year. That was last year for the presidential. That's where that's how the Democrats basically won.
Do you know about Ruby Freeman, Dana? She's a black woman.
Appreciate your call, big bro.
My apologies. Ruby Freeman was a poll worker in Atlanta, right? And she posted on her Instagram and Facebook how all these black people had come in to vote for Trump. And if not for her and her daughter, who was another poll worker, Trump would have won Georgia. They turned thousands of votes. She's on video putting the same votes through the counting machine several times. And these are fabricated mail-in votes. Ruby Freeman. She was all over the internet with this story. I guarantee you, as soon as you punch your name in, you'll see all the stories about her helping Georgia get stolen from Trump.
Yeah, helping because Georgia is what, 60-70% white.
Yes.
And it's like, Obama won Georgia once. The first term or the second term?
He never won Georgia.
He never. Okay, so
Obama never won.
Democrats
Georgia,
don't win Georgia.
Yeah, how did
all of a sudden? Yes. So
it's insane,
right?
Because black folks only think in Georgia is Atlanta and Augusta and Savannah. Savannah. You're not thinking about these motherfuckers with that real money. Farm money is real. Farm money go way longer than a degree, motherfucker.
Arizona turned blue.
I know, it's insane. Do you know that there was a Trump caravan that could be seen from space? It was 100 miles long, and I'm supposed to believe Biden won Arizona, Maricopa County, even. Gotcha.
Wow. Let's take some more calls. 615. Who we got on the line? You're on with Little Big Nate and Dana.
Minister Jap, Little Big Nate, man. I just subscribed to your channel. It's Jay Wood, the Reform Savage. What's going on, brother?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Man, I don't want to disagree with Dana because I Dana, we love you, Dana. But you've been wrong, Dana. You've been wrong, Dana, and you just keep going. You didn't acknowledge this man when he correct. Now he was factually correct, Dana, and you just kept right on going.
What was he correct about? Get the detail.
He was correct about the percentage. See, women have problems with numbers and percentage for some reason. It wasn't no 98. It was 91.
91% of black
but
women.
He said 80%.
80% of black?
No, you said
80%
80% of black men voted Democrat. I said no, it was 95. But the guy on the phone saying it was 91. So we both were incorrect. Okay, you get the sticker.
Okay.
Oh my God, why do you do that?
Because I can.
Why do you do that?
The same reason why Jap put the damn organs and you know, little jabs, yeah. Because we all can do it.
Yeah, boy. Ooh.
My minister now.
You get the gold star. Go ahead.
As my minister now.
Yeah, about your minister. Your minister know what time it is.
Shout out to
pull
up. Anyway, so what I was gonna say, I stopped voting Democrat the moment I went to child support court.
Oh shit! Talk to that motherfucker, Dana. Let her know, bro. Let her know.
The Republicans ain't gonna help you, honey.
I call in, and I donated, and that was me the $40 and the 10. Cause man, this brother said everything I've been saying for years. For years. I said, thank you, because the moment I went to child support court, I was 28 years old, and there was see, here in Tennessee, you can vote the judges in. Okay?
Yeah, we don't do that in New Jersey.
For the judge. Yeah, so they run on platforms saying we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and they either Republican or Democrat. So.
Were you in Memphis, sir?
Who do you think I saw? No, I'm in Nashville.
Nashville, okay.
Memphis is worse. Memphis is worse.
Shelby County is terrible. I just want you to know, yeah.
Oh, cause Shelby County is like a nightmare. It's like Chicago. Anyway,
terrible.
So I went before a judge that I remember she ran as a Democrat, and she raised my child support so fucking high. I changed that day. I realized, I said, wait a minute. I was like, I remember her. And then the other Democrat, Judge Rosenberg, I shouldn't say his name. Judge Rosenberg set my child support to $1,000 a month. And
For one child?
I will be one child. I will be, yes, one child. I will be lying to you if I said I did not consider Ray Caruth, OJ. I'll be lying to you if I said to you that didn't cross my mind. Okay? Because once they take
I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me ask you a question, sir. Did the mother pull back on her working hours? Or
no.
Was she receiving welfare or no?
No, Dana. It's based on what you make and what she makes. It's a child support calculator. But the best thing is,
hold up, man.
No, it is a child support
calculator.
Yeah, they look at her income and his. That's why I said, did she reduce her working hours to make it look like she's bringing in less now?
Send me the app for that.
And you add stuff to it, ain't got nothing to do with it. That ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about. So what I'm saying is this, okay? I told the judge the same thing that I've been hearing for years. Well, Your Honor, I'm paying for everything. Why can't you just give my son to me? That made sense to me. I mean, I don't have to pay her. I don't have to pay her anything. I can just give them to me. Okay? That way, I'll still pay, for my son to go to his mama's house just so I can have my son. Okay? That wasn't an option. You know why? Because she's running for office as a Democrat, and all those women who vote for her can't have that. There is no financial incentive for any black man to ever vote Democrat. Because the moment you get to court, there's a Dana sitting on the bench who got
nigga, because I'm gonna tap those pockets. I'll give you two options. You want to go down and file those marriage papers, or you want me to pull out my child support calculator?
Oh, no.
Dana, that ain't the point, Dana. That ain't the point.
That is the point.
There you go again.
That is the point.
You ain't shit.
Nate was out on here this show the whole time talking about Republican culture, and that's one of their cultures. Is the what you call that? The stepping stone is the family. The cornerstone is the family.
If I could
take care of Dana, you're missing the point. I'm gonna take care of my son. I'm gonna take care of him. He's gonna inherit all that I've worked for. Everything, my properties, my house, when I die, he's got an insurance policy. I got one. He's gonna be straight. It ain't about this woman that our relationship is over. Okay? It doesn't matter if we're married or not. The relationship between me and that woman is over. That's what the Democrats can't fit. They're trying to reward the woman for her votes. Because she can destroy my family and destroy my son. They don't care about
I agree with you.
About children. Nobody can, see, little big Nate was right. It doesn't matter about the money. I don't need money to raise my son to be a good man. I need integrity, honor. And that's what women don't seem to have.
But you need that $1,000 to keep your ass out of jail.
The men are the soldiers. No, the men are the soldiers. See, there are no female pallbearers.
You got that right, honey, because I am not carrying no damn casket. I would not have no casket on my shoulder.
You cook. Hey, bro, you done did enough, man. She cooked. No, I ain't never heard that. Ain't no female pallbearers.
It sure ain't. Unless she likely. Because I'm not a pallbearer, honey. I'm not carrying no fucking casket on my shoulder.
Let me say one thing real quick. I got to give kudos to what Dana said about the marriage. Let me tell you something. The reason I was able to fight for and get custody of my children when they were 2 and 5 is because I was married. I'm telling you. It makes all the difference in the world with the courts. It also makes all the difference in the world if you file for divorce and you file for full custody. Men are so used to being in a responsive manner rushing into the courtroom with your tie askew and your shirt not tucked in, you're not prepared for war. These women go to war when it's over, dog.
Y'all ain't shit.
Niggas still trying to be fair and nice. Stop that shit. Stop it.
443, who we got? This motherfucker call all the time. I don't never say shit, man. Stop answering that motherfucker.
He felt like he was chewing.
It's like the fourth time that motherfucker did that shit. it be there for like 30 minutes and don't say shit. 513, who we got?
Yo, what's good? It's Big Chris from Cincinnati.
What's going on, man? Get off your stomach, man. Talk like a man. Talk like a man, bro.
On my stomach, man. I'm sitting up right now, my nigga.
All right, let's go, man.
But yeah, man, I'm 38 years old, man, and I don't have no kids, man, because I realized when I was a teenager that there was something wrong with these bitches. I realized it.
But we gotta talk about the vote, man. That ain't the topic today. We dealing with the voting, bro.
Right. I'm getting to it. The topic is, you know what I'm saying, the women do not belong at the table with us when it comes to this discussion that we having. You know, the whole time that Kamala Harris was giving that bullshit word salad to Charlemagne, you know, your girl Dana was rolling her fucking neck in her eyes and doing that typical gynocratic feminist goddamn celebration dance that these raggedy black bitches be doing.
You hold for a second. Hold on for a second, sir, because let me interject. Because what the fuck we not going to do? You're not going to bring your dusty raggedy ass up here and act like you want to be disrespectful towards me. Because when you saw me do this with the fucking finger and rolling my neck, I was mocking her, you dumb fuck. So I wasn't encouraging her. I wasn't agreeing with her. I actually did a show and I put the thumbnail first of all because she did the first of all with the fucking finger. So get out your fucking feelings and shut the fuck up. And don't come over here with no disrespect. I'm not the one.
Dana kicking him in the pussy for the field goal.
In the bussy. In the bussy.
Niggas are horrible people. Oh my God.
She know this is a fucked up show. She know this is a fucked up show when she came over.
You gotta talk nigga to them, Nate. You gotta talk nigga language to them sometimes.
This is a nigger show. 314.
Wow.
Who we got?
What up, Jap? This is Mike from St. Louis, long-time listener since 2016. Man, great show. I got a couple of things I want to hit on. I think the brothers got to realize we've been outflanked by the women because of the government. They are the most enrolled in college. They do know the system when it comes to like the child support and things of that nature. And they are automatically going to vote for the Democrats because of the social entitlement programs that they give them. You just got to be real about that.
Mm-hmm.
They have no incentive to empower the young black males because that's going to take the power away from them. So they will never do that. My last thing is this, man. I mean, I agree with Lil Big Nate about black men needing to be more conservative and things of that nature. But I don't know if y'all ever heard of this dude named Carol Quigley. He was Bill Clinton's mentor at Georgetown. And he wrote this book called Tragedy and Hope. And I'm going to just give a little quote from it. In the book, he says, the argument that the two parties should represent opposed ideals and policies is a foolish idea. Instead, the two parties should be almost identical so that the American people can throw the rascals out at any election without leading to any profound or extensive shifts in policy. Basically, he's saying that both parties work for the same governmental policy. So in order for black people to have any type of change, I think in this society, we're going to have to come up with our own party because the Republicans ain't going to be the answer either.
We'll be outnumbered though.
I think the problem with that type,
we'll be outnumbered. That's all.
Salute to you on your perspective, brother. But a quote unquote black party, in all honesty, will just further alienate us. We need to work our way further into the system, in my personal opinion. And for me, it's about these cultural issues. That's what it's about. And, you know, some economic issues, of course. lower taxes, deregulation, being able to start a business without a million goddamn obstructions in your way. We just have to decide. We have to decide on what we want and which party is more apt to give us that through their legislative initiatives. I don't see what benefit there is to voting Democrat as a thinking, competent, productive, family-oriented Black man. I have no idea what you get over there. I just don't. And I've been asking for the last 9 months. I'm still waiting for somebody to tell.
Yeah, too many social programs. And the thing for me, the difference between Republican and Democrat, Republicans, yes, less government, like do what you got to do, make a living, as long as it's legal. Democrats want to give you all this socialist programs. And now we're paying for it with inflation and gas, and people think gas is not a big deal, and it is. And that's just one thing. So, yes, less socialist programs and more upward mobility in the hands of the people.
Yeah,
more.
Yeah, Big Nate. I remember when we was at the Manosphere conference, and we were talking in the lobby, and I told you that Black folks need to have a VIP mind state for voting, and we got to vote for based on our values, our interests, and the policies. We have to lead with that. Like when you ask people, why did you vote for Biden? Because I ain't vote for Trump.
Right.
It's like, man, that's why I said you need to have a license for this shit. It needs to be a class taken. It needs to get renewed. You know what I'm saying? Because again, too, this is another thing. I don't like the fact that they got elderly people in the nursing homes, damn near on hospice, and taking votes for them.
Mm-hmm.
Competency has to be, see, an 18-year-old don't know what the fuck he's voting for, and neither do a 90-year-old. They don't let them drive no more, so why they voting? And another party who should never be able to vote, anyone on Section 8, anyone on government assistance. Because the government—
You're not paying taxes.
You don't pay into this to have a say-so. We got the only country that allows broke motherfuckers to have a say-so. Even motherfuckers who ain't even citizens gotta say so. Felons gotta say so. Like no. This whole shit gotta get revamped. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have a lot of these problems, and they cater to the idiots. And by far, the Black community is the idiots of the voting system, because they know Kamala Harris came to the hood, ate pork chops, and poured hot sauce on it.
And wore cocaine.
She wore pearls. You see these you got 4-year-olds looking at the screen crying. You don't know what the fuck, you don't know who the fuck this is. You don't know any of this shit.
And they're also, if you remember, when they won, they had a picture of Kamala Harris and Ruby Bridges. Yeah. That was disrespectful. Do you know who Ruby? Y'all know who I'm talking about? Ruby Bridges, the little girl who was the first one to desegregate one of those schools in the South.
In Arkansas. Really?
Was it this one? Yeah, the little girl with the little white dress and the
and the police were with her. Yeah,
they had an image of the little girl.
Oh, I did see that shit. Yes. Oh my! Yeah, she was walking in the rotunda of the Capitol, I think, and they put that picture next. Oh yeah, it was horrible, dude.
What happened to freedom? It's like, did she plagiarize somebody's speech? I was a little girl. I just looked at my mom and I said, she said, what do you want out of life? I said, freedom.
MLK. She plagiarized MLK.
Motherfucker, you want curry chicken? What do you mean? Fucking 7-Eleven working ass bitch. What the fuck is wrong with these hoes, man?
Bro,
who we got?
Minister Jap, what it do?
What up, man? We got Dana and Lil Nate, man. Talk to him, man.
All right, so I've been listening, and a whole political aspect of it is this on my end. I'm from DC, but I'm out here in Texas, a Republican state, and I gotta disagree with what Nate. I gotta disagree, but we can't integrate into a system that don't want us at all. And then to Dana, women have ultimately been, especially our women, have been the only women that have been used to be weaponized against us. And here in Texas, women, there's a whole scams on women scamming niggas, getting them locked up. That was just with child support, with domestic violence, with anything. They're incentivized to hang us. Our women are the only women that backstab us and drag us down. So I can't sit here and say, I agree with Buddy, one of the last callers, he said it. Like, we can't marry that. We can't marry our competitor. Jap said it himself a couple times. Black women are the new white men. The white power structure is white women have the most power. Then it's white men, and then it's black women. Because black women are now the white men. Now, come on now. That shit is sick. And how we progress from that? How do we vote for that? Who voted for Kamala in general? Who was out there sacrificing and all of this? Black women. Thank you, black women. And they didn't do anything for us. Ain't even been a year yet. And we ain't have nothing, but all of this is chaos and going on. Afghanistan got took. Gas prices been going up.
No, bro. That's why I'm going to cut you off, bro. Kamala Harris just passed a law where you cannot have lead pipes and lead paint. Okay? She's working on lead pipes and lead paint. So you're not going to disrespect Kamala. She's getting real changed. Dana, they are at your throat right now, man. Why did you sign up for this?
Who's at my throat?
If I could chime in,
go ahead.
Let me know. Yeah, the brother, of course, is entitled to his perspective. I ain't got no problem with that, bro. But when you say they don't want us, you can't integrate into something that they don't want us. What? Why are you looking for somebody to want you?
That's what you said.
I don't need any goddamn white Republicans to like me. All we need to do is be of like minds and share a value system, and we'll work together to accomplish whatever. Where we don't agree, our interests will diverge. We'll go our separate ways. I don't need white people to like me. Nigga, you want a hug. You want white folks to hug you. And that's part of the problem. You can't bring that ideology over here into the right-leaning political spectrum. We don't go around looking for shit to be done for us. We decide what we want to make happen, and then we do it.
Yeah.
We ain't got nobody that want to love us. Dude, I can't function with that shit. We win. I don't give a fuck who likes us.
Ass niggas!
I do not care who likes us.
Fuck to that bitch ass shit!
Can't do it, man.
Dana, what do you have to say to the Bussy boys?
Make sure you keep that pussy clean. Get some dirt. I'm sorry, Nate. No, what Nate just said, like, get out your feelings. Get out your feelings. Because first of all, you can't hurt my feelings. So, okay, you upset. Now that you're stop being upset and go handle your business.
720, who we got?
Okay, Jap. You talking to your boy, long time motherfucker listening. Lil Big Nate.
Yes, sir.
This is how Lil Big Nate thinks. Lil Big Nate is special forces of the black man. Because these niggas is straight pussy. You motherfuckers, do you not get it? It's simple. Bitch nigga, you don't gotta fucking kiss no white man's ass. Be a fucking man and handle your business and go separate ways when it comes to certain things. It's that simple. But see, because we got these bitch ass niggas walking around us, we gotta.
You forgot about the old niggas. We cannot stand old niggas over here. Anti-old nigga, anti-comfortable old nigga.
Let me tell you this. So I'm at work, and I got these two other black dudes at my job. The young niggas, young white dudes understand this shit. They understand it. The two brothers that are around my age, I'm sitting there looking at them like, so you mean to tell me? They're like, I ain't vote. What you talking about? I looked at them and I said, so you mean to tell me you would rather sit out on the sideline instead of getting the motherfucking field in the game, bitch? You want to sit up here and talk like a fucking female? Personality. Bitch ass niggas. Get the fuck.
And it'll be the same niggas. The first conversation they got for you is where the hoes at. Exactly. Appreciate your call, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Big booty hole.
Where the hoes at? Dana, you gotta get these young niggas, man, out here, man.
What?
These are young niggas, man. These yo-yo.
Send them to the Manosphere meetup. We'll get them right.
All right, let's see, man. I'm all over. I got so many callers in here, man. 609, who we got?
They said, bitch, I'm divorcing your ass and I'm taking the kids.
I took
no alimony,
my
no child
motherfucking
support.
children and raised them by myself. Dana, I'm owed 60 grand in arrears.
Sue that bitch! Sue in the ass! Sue in the ass!
You wanted child support?
60K in arrears, yes.
Nate.
Sue her in the ass!
Nate, you walk down to the child support office after you divorced her ass, like, now, bitch, pay me? You said
Yes, Dana. When I was getting divorced, my attorney, I was in Shelby County, Memphis. She told me at making about 38 grand a year, I would have anywhere between $800 and $1,100 in child support for 2 children. You know how much the judge ordered my ex-wife to pay me? $230 a month. And I never got it.
Let's take a call. 609, who we got?
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum. How you doing, brother?
Walaikum assalam.
Yes, sir. To offer a perspective, I want to first say to Dana, I do appreciate you. I do appreciate the valuable show that you've had ongoing with Joe Brown. It's kind of enlightened me to many different things. And I appreciate you for bringing them to the platform. And to my other brother, I just subscribed to your channel just now.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So getting on to it, there is a concept that the Honorable Louis Farrakhan says. He says, politics without economics is symbol without substance. So, for example, we have the flag of the United States of America. The flag itself doesn't mean anything except if the power behind that flag is weak. So, for example, like, you got a lot of Puerto Ricans. No shout out to the Puerto Ricans. Not trying to diss them, but they got the flag and they got it everywhere. But Puerto Rico can't invade no nation and destroy. Puerto Rico don't got no nuclear weapons either. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about this is what Dr. Claude Anderson, in conjunction with that quote I just read by the minister, is we are often concerned with putting the cart before the horse. While we take part in votership, which is commendable, however, the first thing that we need to focus on is that cooperative economics. And the only unfortunate thing is, since we have never been able as a culture to be settled, we've never been able to settle. And when we are settled, people on the outside keep messing with us to destroy the family, to destroy our values in our family. It's going to take something catastrophic to actually happen to the power structure of America that would break them so that they would allow us to reform and kind of just like naturally develop. I know it sounds extreme, but us putting and thinking we're going to vote our way out of the situation, in the meantime, we got to. In the meantime, we should take a more conservative, approach to things. I completely agree. However, the holistic remedy to this is not going to be solved by a vote. Unfortunately, it seems like there's going to be something catastrophic that's going to have to occur if we have any hope to survive. So that's all I wanted to say. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How y'all feel about what the brother just laid down?
I disagree that it's doom and gloom. I don't think something catastrophic needs to happen. What has to happen is that individual Black men need to lay out the requirements for any woman who's interested in being made a wife, especially if he's interested in dating Black women. Those women can either qualify themselves for that man or not. If they do, there's a chance of them coming together, raising a family. The whole solution to this is women qualifying themselves for proper men. That's it. There is no answer to this shit outside of family. Once you could drop $10 billion in the Black community, it'll just all be to a waste, because as long as women are producing children out of wedlock and fathers aren't growing up with their children, none of this gets fixed.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, if we got reparations right now, we just buy rims, Gucci belts.
Oh my God, dude.
And it'll be turned up and we'll be making it rain in Magic City. And
empty.
Like I'd rather have reparations be personally healthcare for life, great healthcare, like free for life for Black folks, and free education all the way up to a doctorate, and make your way from there.
In the state of Georgia, in the 4th Ward in Atlanta, they are giving
Single
it's
mothers.
not called reparations, but they're giving women, Black women, who
$850
for a month for 2 years. This is not government funded
That's
initiative.
called reparations.
It is the private sector. It is the private sector that raised the money, and any individual that want to donate, and individuals donated.
I ain't giving them
Listen,
shit.
this is what the point, because I'm piggybacking off what you were saying. So they want to raise 15, they already raised 9, and then you have the private sector donating money as well. I don't have a problem with that, but it's 2 things I do have a problem with. They don't have the same initiative for the Black men in that ward that are living at the poverty or below. Number 2, they don't have an accountability agenda for those women. You're just giving it away. They're giving it away. You're not saying 20% is going to be invested in your child in a savings bond or IRA or stock or college.
Why
or
don't
to
you
clean
tie
up
the
your
money
credit.
to educational accomplishments or something?
Right. And the reason why they're just giving it away, because they are not going to be accountable and invest that money. So after 2 years, they're going to continue to be at the poverty line. That $850 is actually going to keep these women poor, because you did not give them instructions along with it, and you excluded the Black man, whether he knows, whether he's a father or not. Black men, particularly in that ward, where's the initiative for them? I have the stats. And they also, I don't know if I can share this, but if you go to congress.org and type in HR 1636, it was a commission on the social status of Black men and boys act. It was introduced in 2019. And that's it. It was just introduced. So they know it's a problem, but no one isn't doing anything about it. But the focus is all on Black women, and that is why we're not getting ahead.
If I could chime in real quick, Jap, it's going to take me a minute to explain this. Let me explain to you why the Democrats love Black women. Okay. You take a group of women. There's no other woman in America that has had more time under the tutelage of the Democrat Party than the ABW, American Black Woman. What she is a reflection of what they teach. The issues with her promiscuity, with her weight, with her lack of respect for the traditional family household, lack of respect for patriarchy.
Authority.
Black women are not inherently bad. No. Black women have been made bad by the people they've pledged their political allegiance to. Okay? If you put white women under the Democrat Party for 60 years, 90% of them, they'd be in the same or worse condition. Okay? Now, why do Democrats do this with Black women? Why?
Because they run all weak asses.
If I make a woman overweight, used up, unattractive, and a single mom, no one will marry her. She will vote Democrat. She'll vote for welfare initiatives for the rest of her life. She's going to vote Democrat. Because she'll never be under the leadership of a proper man, ever. Because she's done so much damage to herself. The left wants ruined women. That's what they want. Because when you're ruined, you'll never come under the leadership of a proper man in a marriage or a family. Women in marriages, a lot of the times they vote with their husbands. And their husbands vote. Why would I ever vote to take more money out of my household with higher taxes? Why would I vote to put my son in a dress or on the lap of some freak fuck transformer? Why would I ever do that? Once you pull a woman away from the leadership of a proper man, women are so easily moved in the wrong direction. You know, the Bible calls us all sheep, but no one personifies that more than women, and especially the ABW. You all are so easily led in the wrong direction. Listen to destroy you. They destroy you. And for my channel, I actually try to talk to you and tell you things that are going to make you better because I've raised a daughter. I got her when she was 2. She's 20 now. Yeah, I know y'all haven't seen her, but she's drop dead gorgeous. My daughter is like a 9 in beauty, literally. And at 20 years old, she still has her virtue intact. You can believe it.
Tell her all your daughter business.
No, I've talked about this on my channel. I've talked about this on my channel.
But does she know you talked about
this?
Yes. Okay.
Yes. And you can see my son. He just had his first MMA. Well, no, he said he had his first kickboxing fight without the headgear and stuff.
Let me say this, and fathers make a difference. Like my parents were married and they separated, got the ghetto divorce where they separated but didn't sign the papers.
Are they from Jersey?
Don't play with me, nigga. Don't, because we know too much personal stuff about each other. But even when they separated, the presence of the father is so important. It makes a difference. Men naturally do have more patience than women. We multitask, so we're all over the place, right? We're multitaskers. Men focus more so, like straight on. But men do have more patience. Children tend to just automatically listen to men quicker, easier than women. You know, they don't give men that much of a hard time. Yeah, and just the mere of your presence. The problem that I'm having is too many lack of men. It's too many males and not enough men. Because whether they were brought up, yes, by single mothers, right? Because a lot of times when we do look at, and I ran down those numbers, the number one main reason why we don't have the nucleus family or our nucleus family is destroyed, you talk about mass incarceration. It was set up by design, and it's a whole lot of other stuff. But at the same time, if you are not developing men and they're adult males, that is an issue. So yeah, you complaining about how your mother treated you and raised you and how society is, and your father wasn't there. But if you are that type of person who was raised by a single mother, at one point in your life, you have to understand, would my life have been made different if my father was present? And if Absolutely. It is a yes, then you have to say to yourself, what can I do to be a man and not, be absent from my kids, or, just be an upstanding man in society. So,
Dana, can I ask you something real quick? Mm-hmm. I put out, and Kevin Samuels has used a few of my quotes in the equations I put out. About a year and a half ago, I was on Brother Xavier's, and I said this. I said, if 51% of Black men are single and childless, and 32% of Black men are married, that's 83% of Black men not making all these out of wedlock births. So who will address the issue of Black women liking the wrong men? How do we have people in this space that are baby mama number 5s? I asked for my channel, I said, tell me another community in America that routinely has baby mama number 5s. No one has answered that question for me.
Well, there's a lot of communities that have baby mamas number 5.
I don't believe that. Not nearly as many as us.
You know why you don't believe it? Because you don't see it, because they don't tell their business. When you look at the Hispanics, please, y'all not Latin, you're Hispanic, and ain't nothing wrong with that. When you look at South Americans, Brazil, Afro, Latino, yes.
Your ass back across the border. Don't make Mexico great again.
Yeah, a lot of those men spread their seeds. You go to the continent of Africa, they spread their seeds. They just don't highlight it like
Dana, I don't think any community in the world has as many baby mama number 5s as we do.
They do. It's just not. First of all, the media do not project it, because the media,
we just got the worst results.
Stereotype, yes. The media stereotypes Black men in a negative. They present you in a negative light,
but
it's not a true identity. And it's not a true identity.
It's you opened them up in the 90s. We talked about this.
What?
Y'all shaped and y'all gave us this image in the 90s. Y'all put this shit on the forefront. When y'all was going on the Ricky Lake show, roasting our asses, Rolanda, you know what I'm saying? Queen Latifah show.
But you also had all the other men shows as well. No,
but Dana, if I could ask you this, how in the world do we have such a small group of Black men responsible for so many of modern day Black children being born? Black women do not want proper men.
They want raw dick.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. Another problem, because that is a problem. Another problem is, why is it that group of men just running around here spreading their seeds around, being irresponsible?
Less than 20% of us.
It doesn't matter if it's less than, because honestly, when we're talking about numbers, you're really speaking on a grand. Those numbers are skewed because you didn't say the age limit. So you got to put in age. You got to put in a whole bunch of other stuff, right? So that number is just a generalized number. But when you talk about that small percentage, okay, so then I'm gonna say that the other percentage, which is more single mothers, but it's not like it's 90% or 80%. So I don't get caught up in those numbers of how many black male virgins they are or black men that don't have children. But what is true, the common denominator is, if there is a certain group of men, right, in different states, let's round them all up, they're being irresponsible with their seed. And that is a problem, because that means you are making all of these babies with, all of these different women. So it's more single mothers, more children living in poverty. So that cycle keep growing. The poverty cycle keeps growing from a small group of men. So that's the problem.
Why would you lay down with a man that has 5 children by 4 baby mamas?
Ask Ciara.
Oh shit!
You see what I'm saying? But it's just like that is a problem. But and at the same time, even if it's even if it's a man and he has no children and he's not taking care of the kids, so the thing is, you do let's say that 20% is a true number. So you have 20% of men creating a larger scale of poverty.
Yes.
So
but we as black men get blamed for it, when in the vast majority of us aren't doing this.
No. I'm not right. So let's take the black men, so let's say such as yourself, right, who's responsible with your seed. That 20% that is that's making all these babies, which has escalated a poverty rate. Don't you think those 20% of black men who are reckless, or just to say the reckless black men, don't you think they need to be trained and taught a better way? But they will have to want to do it. They need to
be put on a spaceship and sent to the sun.
But the fact is that if they're the ones contributing along with those women, then you need to get to the root problem and eliminate the problem.
We have to stop manufacturing niggas. We have to stop the nigga manufacturing plant, which is the black woman.
True. That's absolutely true.
Listen, Big Nate, Dana, with the data. I appreciate y'all coming on the show, man, coming to the church. Final thoughts, Big Nate.
Wow, no, I appreciate you letting me come through, Jap. I hope this is the first of many times I'm able to come through.
Oh, we got to do this again. This was great.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure. I was on a panel with Dana when I first started coming on panels over on the Breakdown. Salute to Miss Dana.
She survived. I can't believe it.
And the work she does with Judge Joe Brown, that shit is awesome. He is. You talk about an example of manhood, dog. That there are a few that are better than that.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I asked for you brothers to subscribe to the Little Big Nate Show. I'm the guy that made the Manosphere meetup happen. I went on Bernard Riley's channel 6 months ago and put the idea out for a Manosphere meetup. Everybody told me it couldn't happen. It's a waste of time. Niggas are just going to fight. I said, okay. Theodore Woff was putting on his IT conference. And I said, man, I can piggyback the Manosphere meetup on his IT conference. We can put it together. I approached him with the idea. He liked it. And we had almost 100 black men come to Atlanta of their own volition, with their own money, and be a part of what a gentleman named Jonathan Barronville, he's in the Black Manosphere. He's considered like genius level intelligence. He's 26 years old. He's an IT professional.
He's helping me with some stuff behind the scenes too.
Yes, Jonathan Barronville, salute to him. He said that this was the best networking conference he had ever been to. The best. This
I'm
is
sorry,
what
who said
we
that?
can produce. What's that?
Who said that?
A gentleman named Jonathan Barronville. He allegedly.
Oh, I think I've seen him on Lapeef.
Yeah, exactly.
Network.
Yeah, he's on Lapeef. Yeah, he's got
pretty
like a
young.
genius level IQ. He's high level IT guy. He said this was the best networking event he had ever been to. And this was put together with, very little time and not a lot of resources that were afforded to me. But I made it happen. The executive council made it happen. Theodore Wolff made it happen. We are looking for, and Jap is going to be advertising this 2022 meetup because he's going to be a significant part of it. And just get ready. You brothers, start setting aside your coin, $1 here, $5 there, for your plane ticket, your hotel stay for November of 2022. And just to let you know, you got to get through me to get to the Manosphere meetup, because it's only for like-minded men, niggas that start trouble, niggas that love to be embroiled in fights and nonsense. We don't do that here, though. We just don't. We're grown men with plans, things we have to accomplish. We don't have time to, deal with niggas sitting up on panels for hours talking about how niggas look or any other dumb shit these homo weirdo niggas like to talk about. But I'll say that in closing, man. And please subscribe. I'll be broadcasting tonight. You're gonna love what you hear. Come through and check me out.
Okay. Dana, what you got?
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. This is great because this is right up my alley. I appreciate being on here with Nate and of course you, Jap.
Yeah.
You could subscribe to my channel, Real Dana. The judge was calling me. We're not doing a show this afternoon. We may do it tonight, but he's going to a Christmas dinner. But I try not to. First of all, I'm not into YouTube beefs with people as a content creator. So I really do respect what you're doing, Nate. I'm not into that manosphere, but that's none of my business. But one thing that I'm not going to do is talk shit about the manosphere, and on my channel or in public on social media, because I don't know what it is y'all do or what y'all trying to achieve. And it's not my business. That's a man's thing. But I respect men like you because you seem like you're no nonsense and you're about your business, and more men need to be about their business. That's all I'm saying. Never mind women. Like, you got to understand, yes, women talk, they sneaky, they conniving, blah, 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 blah. But when you as a man have your shit together, especially your money, women are automatically going to follow. And then you get to sit up here and say, nope, I don't want that. Nope, I don't want that. Yes, I want you, but this is my program. A lot of men don't even have a program. So man the fuck up, man up, and the doors will start opening. So yeah, but thank you for having me, Jap.
This is a good discussion, especially us being able to talk about politics, real fights, a heated debate, but we still were able to simmer it down, and just to show the dynamic of men and women being able to actually have real discussions. You know what I'm saying? And free thinkers. So I definitely appreciate both of y'all coming on and blessing my show. I definitely make sure to and if you guys want, you can take clips or whatever like that, broadcast it on your channel or whatever like that. But hopefully y'all link up and y'all start doing, because Brother Nate, he do politics all day. We sat in that lobby and talked about politics for about an hour and a half. The cameras was off. We just sat there, just kept talking about shit. They happened to have the camera rolling. That was just really us talking. So this is something that I think all three of us are pretty passionate about.
You in Tennessee, Nate?
No, ma'am, South Carolina.
Oh,
and
okay.
you'd be happy to know, Dana, there was literally no talk of black women. None.
No, we
I mean,
No,
none.
and that's good. Yeah, like it's some shit like
it was a black woman bash fest. That's all they told you about to do.
because it's like on YouTube. That's all it is, a black woman bash fest. And I look at it
No, the church is a black woman bash fest. You gonna tear your ass up in the rain.
One thing I want to ask Nate,
Yes,
when
ma'am.
y'all, because South Carolina, when y'all getting Clyburn old ass up out the office?
Oh,
can you
disgusting.
start that campaign?
I don't know.
And that could be a part two that we need to do a part two of this show.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
we need to get rid of all the CBC, in my personal opinion. They're terrible. They do nothing for us. They're just celebrities. They're political celebrities. That's it.
All right, y'all. Appreciate everybody watching the church today. This shit ran really long. Sorry to all the callers that's in here. We're gonna have to do a part 2. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all subscribe to Dana with the Data because I fucking told you to. Go subscribe to Lil Big Nate because I fucking told you to. And like and share and subscribe this motherfucking show because I told you to. Appreciate y'all coming on. We're gonna leave these motherfuckers like we came in peace.
Minister Jap, I'm talking to you, nigga. Yeah, I got a kid. I got 2 daughters and a son. You hear me?
Black women are bad mothers. And that's why you having a baby by the motherfuckers you had a baby with is your fault. That's why you being a single mother is your fucking fault. That's why being a baby daddy ass nigga is your fault.
Live from the church.
Church check in.
It's Minister Jap.
Black women, they're some of the most worst bitches on with money, but yet they're still taking trips and they look fly doing. They are the flyest broken bitches you're gonna ever deal with.
On Minister Jap TV.
Church check in, man. Church check in.